Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea's Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning Show. And I'm hopeful that by now, most of Chelsea fans who doesn't trust that the club is well and truly at work behind the scenes or under the radar, if you prefer, are beginning to change their minds gradually. But that's by the way, today we have quite a few things to talk about. We're hearing that our Chelsea chairman, Bruce Buck, will be stepping down at the end of the month. And we'll talk about Romelu Lukaku, how Chelsea tried to take one player or the other from them in return, and it didn't work out. We'll talk about Raheem Sterling, how we're beginning to see that Chelsea are indeed interested in the man. We'll talk about Bremer, Richarlison, and a million other players that Chelsea are linked with. So sit back and relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, as it is a tradition here, we'll start by looking at the chat, talking with everybody, seeing how everybody is doing because we're family here. Before I do that, I want to ask you, as you're coming in, please keep liking the video. The more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the more people will get to join us in the show here, and the more fun it will be. And please, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That will go a long way for the channel. Remember, as I've always said, I'd rather you like the video than donate to the channel because the likes do more for the channel than the donations. But whatever you feel comfortable doing, I'd appreciate it. Your support is what matters the most. So thank you very much again. Let's get into the show. Like I said, we'll start by talking about Bruce Buck. We'll discuss what legacy he's leaving at Chelsea Football Club. Again, he's done some good, but you could argue he's done a lot more damage than good. But we'll get into that in a bit. Let's find out how the people in the chat are doing, by the way. Now, we have a Phantom. He's the fourth like, so he made it to the Champions League. So kudos to you, Phantom, of many topics. Nice to see you here, brother. I hope you're well. And Alex Toto says hello. Hello to you too, Alex. I do hope you're doing well, and I hope overall things are well at your end. Here says good afternoon and blue morning. I hope you're very well. Yeah, Citron, I'm well, and I hope you're doing well too. Nice to see you here. Says eighth to like Tobago, you again. Not even Europa League or Europa Conference League. But anyway, it's good to see you in the channel in the chat. Blue morning, coach, and everyone joining the panel. Blue morning to you, Lamland. Nice to see you, brother. Yep. I've heard that. Nice to have you back here. I'm gonna come back straight to the panel. Tobago, I'm asking you, and I'm sure you've heard the news that Bruce Buck will be leaving Chelsea Football Club. Your thoughts on that?
Okay, first of all, I already knew that Bruce Buck eventually he will leave, but when I didn't know. So I'm glad a lot of things are going to change, and then hopefully Todd Boehly will be our good chairman. And then about Bruce Buck, yes, we won so many trophies under his leadership, but things of hiring and sacking coaches, that's the issue I'm having with Bruce Buck. Again, on Enrique's part, he were close with them, but they're all rumors. We'll never know. But the thing, like, he wanted the Enrique's to be our part owners. So, no, man.
How do you know he wanted them to be part owners? Because of the meeting he held with them. But that's not the case. How do you know that was what they wanted?
Yes, but like as I said, they're all rumors, but again, the rumors were saying like he organized a meeting, a private meeting between the Ricketts and then Paul Covenant. So, but again, man, I'm good, man. As long,
Again.
yeah, as long things are changing in our club, then I'm happy.
Yeah. And I have in the house my brother Fahim from CFC. Fahim, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well, coach. How's everyone doing?
I can't complain. I can't complain. I'm happy. Again, I want to ask you this question quickly. Good one to start you up with. And I'm sure you've heard the news that Bruce Block will be leaving the club by the end of the month. To me, which sounds like actually he's fired, but I think he's fired in a respectful way because usually
Hmm.
when people say that they're stepping down and immediately there's a replacement, I think it's well thought out. So your
Yeah.
thoughts on that news and what do you have to say about his legacy at Chelsea?
Well, for me, it sounds like we're actually trying to change this whole structure. I feel like that's what they're doing behind the scenes. I feel like it's given me a bit more confidence of what we're going to do in the future, I guess, because for me, Bruce Bock, I wanted him to be gone after that Super League because the guy is trying to. I feel like he only cared about the money side rather than looking at the success for this club. But I'm not gonna say I'm like oh, I wanted him to be fired and this and that. Look, losing a job is not a good thing for any individual. But I'm happy that Todd Boehly is now going to be the chairman. Hopefully that changes something in the club where it can lead us to success. I'm hearing
Hmm.
that Marina's going to be the next one, but for Bruce Buck, yeah, I would say it's a good direction to go for in the future.
I would say the same, given his behavior. But one thing I will never forget, I think he's done some good. I remember when I think it was during the game, he was sharing water and food, snacks
Mm,
to Chelsea fans in the stadium. That was good to see. But again, if you look at it, something like the case of the Super League, the case of the arranging a meeting with the Recats,
yeah,
why the same wasn't hasn't been done, why the same wasn't arranged for other people vying to buy the club as at that time. You sure not that's not one of the things that made Todd Boehly mad, and he was bent on letting him go. Yeah, something
possibly,
like that.
possibly. Maybe Todd Bowley doesn't really trust him as
Hmm.
much, and I think maybe Todd Bowley in at the start when he wanted to buy Chelsea, he wanted to be the chairman, and Bruce Buck was the chairman at that time. I think that was his plan, maybe Todd Bowley's plan all along. But I think it's a mixture of both. He probably didn't trust Bruce Buck, so yeah, I think that's is good for me. It's like a good decision to make from Todd Bowley.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's a really good decision because he divides. I wouldn't say he divides opinion. You can say majority of the Chelsea fans don't simply do not like the man, and like you said, it's a step towards a good direction taken by the club.
Hmm.
But one person I really do not want the club to lose is Marina. I think
Yeah,
she's being scapegoated for the unnecessarily. Because
yeah,
if you recognize, first of all, that her job is to negotiate, then we wouldn't be blaming her for all the deals that fell through and all the times we're not able to, extend our player contracts. She has a boss
hmm,
that even before she decides to give a player a certain amount of money weekly, or before she decides to pay a certain amount for a particular player, the boss would have to say, "Okay, you go ahead and do that."
yeah,
I think it would be with accused her unjustly, if you ask me. So I really would like her to stay, but the truth is, there's no chance she stayed
yeah,
because
yeah,
she's one of the people that Roman Abramovich trusts the most. So the chances
yeah,
are she's believing and probably will help him, manage
mm,
his next business, his next business adventure or endeavor, if you prefer. But that's, by the way, I'm going to also try and catch up with the chat. And Fahima, I want to thank you for finding time to join me on the panel. I haven't been sending you the link because I'm not sure, your schedule, school, and also you're on
I'm on
your own
holiday,
channel.
coach. I'm on
Sorry?
holiday now. I'm on holiday now, coach.
Oh, no wonder, no wonder. Now I get it, but I honestly do appreciate you finding time to join. It's never easy when you manage your own channel. Again, it's not that simple. Let me see here. I have Christopher Abasa. He says, "Hello, good morning. Trust you are doing well. I am doing well, brother, and thank you very much for asking. I do hope that you're doing well yourself. And how are things on your end?" I said, "No Sterling for more than 35 million, please. Usidamen Umoneko, again, it's not up to us. If the club really wants him, I think they'd pay even up to 45. But we'll see what happens. I still do think that there's a chance Raheem Sterling does better if it comes to Chelsea. Think of it, Thomas Tuchel is known to improve players better. And if it comes, again, see, a prime example will be the case of Antonio Rudiger, who you could argue was on the verge of leaving the gates of Stamford Bridge, but under Thomas Tuchel, he became one of our best defenders for a while. Next, we have Raheem Sterling. Sutran says Raheem Sterling, Chelsea top target, as reported last Tuesday. Man City won around 50 million to 60 million, average for 25 million made, but was turned down. That's not going to work. But it looks like we're serious. Maybe if Chelsea are looking at all the options, but preferably for me, I'd say Sterling, because he's played in the Premier League and he's got that winning mentality. I think Thomas Tuchel can polish him to become even better. I know he's 27, but he can change. Do I have any concerns? I do have a few concerns, given no matter how you see it, Man City play differently. And usually their chances are put on the plate for the person attacking. But for us, you can say it's slightly different. Good morning, Liam Lane says, good news about Bruce Buck. I never trusted him. I never trusted him either. Again, I wasn't the one, to go at him until, what he did during the sell process of the club. I said, really, even Bobby described him as that uncle who would always, disgrace you, do something to shame you or disgrace you whenever there's a family gathering. And I think that made me laugh, but it is in fact the truth. But Felix, nice to see you, brother. How are you doing? I hope things are well with you. I hope things overall are well at your end. Welcome back to the show. Chelsea interest in Richarlison is serious. Yeah, I'm seeing that too, because again, it's surprising. Again, I've come to terms with the fact that, okay, we've all clamored for the club to, back the manager, and if backing the manager involves getting him Richarlison, I'll take it. Why? Again, it's all about backing the manager, and the player fights. I think maybe that's important for the manager. Is it the most technically gifted? I'll say no. Again, as a footballer, I really don't like how he plays. Maybe the fight will go a long way for us. Sterling isn't worth more than 35 million. He's out of contract next season. But there are other clubs that would pay that much money to get him. If the manager wants him, let's pay for it. And there's something I heard about LA Dodgers, which is Todd Boehly's baseball team. I think he doesn't shy away from paying the big wage as long as the player, will perform. But we'll see. It remains to be seen whether Raheem Sterling is that guy. And some people are saying that he is considering Raheem Sterling as a Mikey signing. Who here says Christy Iona says we need a lot Morata back. No, not at my club. Sorry. Again, True Blue, how are you doing, brother? I hope things are well on your end. Says, here we go. Conspiracy theories. Anybody could have asked for a meeting with Paul Canoville. Obviously, the Ricketts had reasons for a meeting. I have no issues with Buck's departure. I have no issues with Buck. But let's talk about the meeting a bit. It just doesn't make sense. In a professional environment, in something, should I say, in something that is a magnitude of selling Chelsea Football Club. He's a lawyer. he should know. He should know that it would be wrong to go arrange a meeting, for a particular group while there are many groups of vying to buy the club. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, this is no conspiracy thing. Yeah, you heard it down. Then other groups weren't happy. So, but we're not going to talk about that today. And by the way, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, oh dear, indeed, to Christy. RMC Sports confirms Chelsea are very interested in signing Jonathan Klaus from Lens. Yes, I couldn't find a picture of Jonathan Klaus. I would have, is it Klaus or Klaus? I'm not sure. I would have added him to the thumbnail for the show today. Richarlison is a yes for me. Hey, can you tell us why you say Richarlison is a yes for you? Smith David, nice to see you, brother. Good afternoon, bro. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too. I think this week Lukaku will definitely join Inter Milan. Again, we're getting there. But I want to start again by coming back to the panel. I was going to start a hashtag saying Fahim out, but I'm going to calm down a bit. So, Fahim, coming back to you, your thoughts overall now. Are you confident that the club are well and truly hard at work behind the scenes or under the radar, if you prefer, or are you still concerned?
Well, this sort of departure of Bruce Buck, I think we heard it. Yes, we heard it like a few weeks ago that him and Marina will be the two likely candidates to be leaving Chelsea in the near future. So yes, they're doing something behind the scenes. So it looks like they might be trying to sort out those issues first. I think that's what Fabrizio also said. We're trying to sort out the internal issues first.
Which you've seen a good example of that.
Yeah. And then Lukaku, I think a lot of the signings that we are planning to sign, it all depends on Lukaku's departure right now because he's a big player. Like whether you like it or not, we spent a lot of money on him. He's the one that's pretty much the stumbling block in terms of us signing players. So I think if we get those issues done in terms of Todd Boehly wanting to get Marina out, which I'm not really Marina out at all, but it looks like Todd Boehly wants Marina out.
How do you know that? I want to know.
I'm just hearing that Marina's the next candidate to be leaving Chelsea. But if
by
she
default
stays,
she'd be leaving. I don't think she'd be staying.
Yeah, I don't think
again, that's my argument. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be staying as well. But I'm hearing that once Lukaku goes away, I think the club are going to focus on the signings coming in, whether that's Sterling, Richarlison, Kounde, all that stuff. So I have a little bit more patience now. My confidence has gone up a little bit, but we'll just have to wait and see because this week I think is a huge week in terms of Lukaku leaving as well. So just have to wait.
We just have to wait and see. Indeed, Tobago, your turn. I don't think you were concerned before. You were never on the Boehly out boss. If I'm allowed to phrase it that way, tell me how you feel now. You feel more confident, or you're still concerned a bit?
No, I'm not concerned. I'm patient. Like I said, we are sanctioned and then we just got new owners. So they need to sort out a lot of things first before we sign players. So, yeah, I'm still good, man. And I'm glad the fans now are starting to be more confident. They're getting along with what we've been saying. So, yeah, man, I'm not concerned. And then I hope soon we'll sign a player so that the fans will behave. Because like on social media now, it's mad. People are saying Todd Boehly out, Todd Boehly is not good enough, broccoli. What is that, man?
Yeah, let me ask this question quickly. Why are the Chelsea fans quick to jump to conclusions and start blaming the man, not even considering factors that has hindered us for a while? Why is that? This is not about us being spoiled under Roman Abramovich. I think this is just simply people not paying attention not really, putting context into the decision making. Just start saying, I don't trust this owner. The Americans have started. I just don't understand.
It's just
Your thoughts,
reactionary.
Fahim?
We're just reactionary. I was never going to be Boehly out. There's just no point discussing and saying those sort of stuff because he's just come in. What's the whole point of saying Boehly out? I don't understand. I think the reason is that our fan base is very reactionary when it comes to, let's say, how Roman used to just sack managers all the time. I
Mm-hmm.
think they think it's that simple to just get rid of a owner, for example. So I think that's where it comes down to, in my opinion. But it's just no point discussing it. Bowley, yeah, what's the point? There's no point saying that because we just have to be patient. This thing takes time. It doesn't come just instant. When you want to change the structure of the club, I think that's what Bowley's trying to do. He's not going to keep the same structure. He wants his own people to come to the club. So that's going to take time. So I think people are
Did
just.
you did yeah did you watch what's his name, Fabrizio Romano's latest video where he talked about how Chelsea, again, that's the second time actually that Chelsea are well and truly at work trying to sign a couple of players. But specifically he mentioned Raheem Sterling, how Chelsea have reached out through an intermediary and all that. It doesn't seem like it has changed people's mind too. Again, I wasn't worried, but as I started watching his videos, I think I became even more confident. Your thoughts, Tevago? Did you watch this video?
Yes, I always watch Fabrizio Romano's videos. So again, I'm confident things will happen, and then these things on fans saying, "Can you hear me?"
Yeah, I can hear you.
These things of fans saying Todd Boehly out and stuff. They need to be patient. Unfortunately, we're in a Todd Boehly mode, and then Todd Boehly won't spend money until it's wisely. If you research about Todd Boehly before being owner of Chelsea Football Club, you'll know he said on the videos, for my teams to be successful, I need to hire people that knows about that particular sport so that our club will be successful. So we'll see things changing as soon. Even not now, not today, but soon things will change.
Yeah, I do hope like Fahim said, I think he's seeing a step towards the right direction, which is good to see. I hope restructuring, I think, will go a long way. Although I don't know too much about the club's current structure to argue whether something is right or something should be changed or not. But we'll see what happens.
It's like
True Blue says he says board members were there to assist all bidders in the bidding war. Kounde had a meeting with board members. Boehly must have been assisted on his visit. Okay, that's a chance that's the case, but thank you for saying that. Okay, thanks. I am Liam. Okay, says Inter Milan have opened the door to selling Chelsea, Tottenham target, Milan Skriniar or Alexandra Bastoni. We'll get to that in a bit. Says Richarlison is EPL proven and never backs down from a fight. With the right teammate and good coaching, he might flourish. And again, that's a good argument. I think with the right players around him, good players if you prefer, I think he might well do well. But here's the thing I want to say is this. The EPL approving thing, I think it's not something I trust because we've been there before. We've been there before about how many players you can say Drinkwater, Fernando Torres. There are a few others, even Packer himself. I think Packer switched from what club to Chelsea, I don't remember. So again, that's not guarantee. The most important thing you should always look at is how the manager plays, the age of, in most cases, the age of the players, of the player in question. But I think Richarlison, if he comes to Chelsea, that's a chance he does well. I just don't like him as a player overall. That's who I am. Maybe the fighting spirit would be good for us, because it doesn't look like we have attackers who have that kind of fighting spirit, the fight you see in him against oppositions whenever he's on the pitch. But yeah, that's by the way. Quickly, I'm going to come back to the panel. Declan, your thoughts on Bruce Buck leaving? What does that? What do you think of it?
It's good news. I always thought it was going to happen. And big up everyone as well. I always
Why
felt
were
that.
you always sure it was going to happen?
It felt like whoever came in that he was going to leave. I
Mhm.
think that's why I probably felt that he pushed the Ricketts. Maybe he had a chance of staying or a good pay packet. He did favour one party over the other, and he showed that. But I think he was. I mean, he should have resigned after the the Super League when he made those announcements. So it's been downhill for him, and I think it was time to go anyway. So new new ownership, and I think he was going to step down always.
Hmm.
But it's good news.
Go ahead. You were saying something.
No, that's all. Sorry, I said it's good news.
Yeah, that's good news. Some good news. Now, Nick says, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, nice to see that. Nick, I hope you're doing well. I hope things are well on your end. Big up our panel. And by the way, Nick started a YouTube channel, and it's called Real Chelsea Channel. Go check it out. Nick, you can share the link there if you want to. Matt says, big up panel and coach. Big up to you too, Matt. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are well on your end. Again, go check out Matt's YouTube channel. It's called Zvolley YouTube channel. Check out the content and believe me, you will like it. And do subscribe if you like what you see and tell him I sent you. Still not convinced on Sterling, coach. I don't know. Again, his performances at Liverpool will not define what he would do at Chelsea. Different manager, different environment, different players around him, different approach to the game entirely by the manager may well make a huge difference for him. But we'll talk about that in a bit. That's a chance he does better at Chelsea Football Club. We should go for Skriniar on a serious note. Him and Kounde would be a good addition. We'll see. We'll talk about that. Get Marina out now, so I don't have to read or hear the vitriol I have had to football negotiations are not like popping down to Walmart. I look at the success, and there's been many player selections. Again, I wouldn't. I have my arguments in that, but so many people think otherwise. Reactionary fans are coming from a woeful season. You could say that, Coach, do you rate Ansu Fati? Where has he been playing for? Where is he right now? Actually, has he left
Barcelona.
Barcelona? Or he's still there,
He's still Barcelona.
but he doesn't. Does he start?
I think he picks up these injuries most of the times.
Yeah,
So
it looks
I'm not
like he's
really
injury
not-
prone. I
He's
I
their
wouldn't
best
say
player.
I wouldn't go to the length of rating him or not rating him. Again, I don't know what to say about him. I think he's a good player overall. Let me say just say I rate him because I've seen him a few times and I think he's a good player. That's just that. Okay, we'll see. Says hi Matt again. Says morning Nick Blue. Says big up True Blue again. I think I've said hello to everybody that's currently in the chat. Is there anything else to address here before I go back to the panel? Says Chelsea should look at Gnabry. I think he's a player I like. I don't know why most Chelsea fans. I'd actually take Gnabry over Raheem Sterling against. That's my choice. Chelsea should look at him. Says let's keep it real. Where is Boehly going to go? Cannot sell the club for 10 years. That's just the truth. So forget the Boehly out people. Again, they're not sure what they're doing. It's just like I said, it's people who doesn't just before deciding, look at factors that define situations before deciding what to do. Chelsea close to completing a Sterling deal, close really. We'll see what happens. I will be happy to see the back of Lukaku. The guy does not fit our system. It's as simple as that. It's not like he's a bad player. Again, most people think otherwise. Contracts ends next week, and 1st of July will be okay. Again, that Doggy G says, who do you actually think we are gonna sign as a striker? There's no one of world-class quality who is realistically available. I don't think the club will be in a rush to replace Lukaku. I think what the club are doing right now is his wage bill is quite he earns quite a lot. That off the wage bill of the club, makes room for the club to be able to bring in players, another player, and not have a problem paying the players' wage. I think you could argue that. I says, guys, I love your work here, watching it from Uganda, Africa. Thank you very much. Apollo 256. I sincerely do appreciate that compliment. Nick, I've seen that already, and I'm coming, please. It says, thoughts on Rafinha. I think he's a fine player, but we've been linked to almost every good player in the world. It remains to be seen what happens. Godfrey, ex-Arsenal, dubbed he would come. Who? Gabriel. You never know. Again, he might want to play under his fellow German. You don't know. Maybe we had what's his name? Fabregas leave Arsenal to Barcelona and then came to Chelsea. So if Arsenal don't want him, if he wants to leave Bayern Munich and Arsenal don't want him, he may well come to Chelsea. I think in the case of Fabregas, that was what happened. Good morning, guys. I had a stacked backlog, but now I'm back. Oh, Pac-Man SA, yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I think, take care of your business first because bills don't pay themselves, and I totally understand that. Do you think we'll do well if we decide to play with a false nine next season? I think we'll be fine, but it's good to have a traditional number 9 in case you want to mix it up. But under Thomas Tuchel, we'll see what happens. Big up Coachila, we're doing business in silence. I knew that all the while, and I've never been a concern. Again, nice to see you, Deals CFC. I hope you're doing well, brother. Nick, where have you been? Big ups. Says Fabregas was ex-Arsenal too. Yeah, exactly. So I already said that. Gitonga, top 4. Says Rafinha to Arsenal, Jesus to Arsenal, Sterling to Chelsea. We are garbage. Again, I wouldn't say that. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. Declan, let me get your thoughts on the transfer so far. Are you concerned? Would you call us garbage because of the players Arsenal have signed?
Would you call us
garbage, just like Matt did in the chat?
Well, we should ask Arsenal if they want Kepa too. Maybe they'd be interested back up there. Some competition. But we're not garbage. As you can see, we have more in-house issues. As you see, Bruce Bucks stepping down, re-contracts. I think that's our delay for that. But the Jesus one is the one I'm not a big fan of. Not the Jesus one, sorry, the Sterling one that will be in close. It just...
Is it really close indeed? Is it close?
Well, everyone's saying it's close. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why we're paying so much big money just to make sure we get him? He's going to be on a free. It's quite... If that transfer fee is right, it's quite a lot for someone with 1 year left. Do we give him the same wages he's getting at Man City? Because he's getting 300. With Lukaku gone, he'll be our highest paid. It's just a lot for someone that's not going to fix our problem. And then on top of that, if I was Sterling, I don't get why he wouldn't want to stay. Just see out his contract, leave on a free. He'll get more money out of that.
Well, what if we need him now? What if the case? Yeah, what if the case is that we need him now?
This is for Sterling. Like, what is he after? I mean, people said game time, but I mean, I looked it up. He actually got quite a bit of game time, and this season, particularly with 5 subs and way more games, he's going to have more games at City. And like, how do you step down? Like, how do you go from another club from City to go? I'm gonna. Almost every club is a step down from City. So, a lot of things don't make sense, and I don't know why he's coming. And if it's all about because Man City want him to take a pay cut and that. If it's pure financials, why wouldn't Sterling just wait out the wait out his contract and get the money that he wants from any club that he wants, not the ones that Man City negotiate with. And he probably gets signing bonus too. And so when you think of it different angles, it doesn't make sense to me. And we don't. And like I said, do we need Sterling right now? Is he the answer to our problems? I don't think so. We have a goal scoring, a goal conversion issue more than a creative one, way more, and he doesn't solve that. So anyone could keep talking about creativity and this and that, but if we keep missing more goals, we get the same problem.
Here's one I want to remind you. The first day we talked about it, you actually argued that he's a creator.
He's a creator.
You actually agree. I argued that he creates a lot. I think that, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misquoting you, apologies. But I thought you argued that he creates. I said he's not that much of a creator, and you argued otherwise.
Yeah, because it depends how you define creation. Him dribbling can create. Him in the positions he gets, he can actually create. Yeah, for himself or for someone else. Yeah, so if he can dribble in the box, he can get, he can dive like he always does and win a penalty. If he dives in, he can make easy crossfield. But creation can come in different forms, and it just depends. It's not always that fine touch, perfect ball, through ball, to give you. So creation can come in different forms. But I still also said that I didn't think creation was our problem.
Yeah, I think finishing was a problem, but you could argue also we didn't create too many clear-cut chances. But that's, by the way, I'm going to quickly catch up the chat, so I'm not far too behind. Here we have True. If Kepa wants to stay, so be it. I haven't heard that, but I don't think he'd stay. They are linked with him. We ain't going for him. I'm not sure who you guys are talking about there. Says we shouldn't pay 60 million for Sterling. If we're going to buy Sterling, it should be 35 million. I think the club are well aware of that. That's why they went in started to buy low ball in Man City, because they understand his contract is winding down, and by next year he has just 1 year left on his contract. But if there are no shortage of buyers, then it becomes a risk. If you really want to get him, if the manager wants him, as we've heard, then we should just pay a good enough amount to get it. I'm not saying give them 60. The players we are going for, Sterling, Richarlison, and some guy from La Liga, why are we going for the wrong players? Again, you can't not just look at things from your own perspective and call it the wrong players. If we're really, yes.
Can you ask him who are the right players then?
Exactly. So I was going to come to that. So you can just look at things from your own perspective and think these are the wrong players. If Tuchel really wants them, as we're hearing, then they are the right players, whether we like the players or not. And that was why I said regarding the case of Richarlison, I said, okay, look, if the manager wants him, so be it. Do I like him as a player overall? No. But I like he has something that maybe the club could do with in the attacking area, which is the fight you see from him whenever he's on the pitch. But that's, by the way, I say Sterling is wasteful like the rest of our attackers. That's a chance if he comes to Chelsea, he'd do better. And this is a guy, if you look at the goals he scored, some of them from outside the 18 is some of the type of goal you don't get from any of our attackers. And that's just the simple truth. Is he the most prolific? No. Sorry?
Coach, are you talking about Sterling?
Yeah. For instance, there are goals, some goals he scored, like the Coilas. Since Pedro, we have hardly had a Coiler from any of Chelsea player. He scored from outside the 18. That's just an example I'm giving with that aspect.
With every example of a good goal that you mentioned, there is 4 more. There's plenty more of perfect misses. He is on a Werner level of easy chances missed. He does it too. He gets way more of those chances as well in Man City, and he misses so much.
Here's where he's different from Werner. He doesn't need too much space to operate. You know that.
for
But
Sterling or Werner.
one on one, you know what Werner does? He practically give the ball to the opposition defender and say take. So let me quickly catch up with the chat and come back to the panel and get Nick's thoughts quickly so we can move ahead. Sterling is wasteful, we know that, but that may change if he comes to Chelsea. Again, that's just a conversation between those in the chat. Sterling isn't looking for game time. He plays a lot. So what's the issue really? We'll talk about it later. Matt, they're gonna need a replacement for Dembele. It's not getting on with Pep. That may well be the case. We should be finalizing Dembele. It's not that simple, like I've said before. Dembele's, whereas he will be leaving Barcelona on a free, it's going to be complicated for obvious reasons. There's going to be a sign-on fee involved, and there's a chance the club will be asking him, to sign, to agree to putting out a statement regarding his past. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into it right now. Kumalo says, let's release Malang Sarr, Jorginho, Barkley, Kennedy, Loftus-Cheek, Odoi, Palmera, and Lukaku. It sounds easy, but it's not that simple, my friend. Chelsea player swap request reportedly rejected. That's just the truth. Richarlison, Sterling, Klaus might not be the names we were hoping to buy. If they fit the system Tuchel wants, yeah, that's it. That's all that matters, okay? What is the latest news about Chelsea transfer? Keep listening, and we'll talk about them one by one. Since we need to get rid of Malang Sarr, Jorginho, Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, Kennedy, Batshuayi, Bakayoko. It sounds easy again. I think I've talked about that, but it's not going to be that simple deals. Guys, endeavor to like these videos. Yes, guys, please keep liking the video. We have 27 likes, and we're already into 43 minutes already into the show. Please keep liking the videos, and if you haven't, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Since, again, responding to what somebody says here, with such a high salary for Sterling, maybe we must sign Rafinha, Richarlison, and Oli Watkins. Again, it remains to be seen. I haven't heard people talk about Oli for Chelsea for a while. Sterling leave at Chelsea. I think he wants to work close to home. In London, you mean? Okay, we should be going after Richarlison. We're already going for him. We're hearing, but it remains to be seen if it is a true fight. Declared says Coachila, Lukaku. I never said Kepa is staying. I said if he's still developing, I'm just fed up of people, bashing the player. Chelsea considering making a move for Lens defender Jonathan Klaus. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. Chelsea considering making a, okay, I've read that. Shiloh, it's been a while. I hope you're well. We have lost two central defenders. Those are the players I expect the club all board linked with having discussions. Not all these wingers. I think for obvious reasons, it'd be stupid for them not to be talking with defenders right now. We already have wingers, Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech, and all that. Says, why would Sterling be better at Chelsea? He has 14 goals, 9 assists from the wings. You never know. Change of scenery or club could make a difference. Let's be responsible by assisting our Tuchel. Again, I'm going to skip quite a lot and get to the bottom. Coming back to the panel, Nick, your thoughts. How do you feel? Are you feeling confident about the transfer window?
Yeah. Well, not too confident, but I'm not worried at all. I mean, we're behind the other clubs, so forget Arsenal, Tottenham, City, Liverpool. They were ready to buy these players. We wasn't. So I'm not worried. I know we will get defenders in. Hopefully, Kounde still and Koulibaly, I hope. And, and all this talk about Sterling, I don't want him anywhere near Fulham Road, let alone Stamford Bridge.
And if the manager wants him?
I don't care. If he wants him, I don't want him. I'm going to be like Johnny when he didn't want Lukaku from the start. I'm the same. I don't rate Sterling. He is going to be a big flop, and Tuchel's going to get sacked because of it. So, I don't know what Tuchel's thinking. How can you get Sterling when we have better players than him? Every single attacker is better than Sterling. Even Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic. And you're going to bring that, I don't know, I don't want to call him names, but he's not a Chelsea player. Why doesn't Pep want him? Because he doesn't rate him. He's rubbish. All he does is miss open goals. He does it for England, the same rubbish. Don't bring me Sterling because I will go mad at Stamford Bridge.
Nick,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nick, you always emphasize that we need to back our manager. If our manager needs this player, we need to back him.
No, I'm not backing him for Sterling. Any player out of every single division he can bring. Don't bring me Sterling. Bring me someone from the non-league if you want. Don't bring me that.
Okay. Here's the thing, Nick.
I'm really pissed off. I can't. I don't know. I don't believe Tuchel really wants it. Even this is all media talk. Everyone's guys supposed to say Chelsea wants Sterling now. Why don't you go for Jesus or Richarlison? 100 times better, both of them.
Here's the thing. We can't eat our cake and keep it. Here's the thing. Let's be factual here. If Thomas Tuchel really wants Raheem Sterling,
I'm not backing.
No, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying if indeed he wants them, and we've been clamoring back the manager, getting the players he wants, and if he really wants them, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I know we can't. I can't do anything about it, coach.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want him, and he will be a flop. Say Tuchel does want him, and he brings him. I guarantee he's going to be a flop. All right, because it's 35 million. You know, it's cheaper to get Sterling all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get someone to replace Lukaku, you know, which Lewandowski we couldn't get, but you have to get someone near Lewandowski level or Lukaku level. Or keep Lukaku. I'd rather keep Lukaku and get that idiot Sterling.
No name calling.
I know, I'm very angry with this.
Yeah, I understand. Still, no name calling. He's a human being.
He's a human being. All right, sorry, Sterling, but all you do is dive and you're rubbish. I've never seen a worse English player in my life than you, Sterling. Yeah.
Okay, that's serious. Nick, coming back to you, Declan. Look at this comment on the screen. It says Sterling will be a good signing for Chelsea. You know why? No, Nick, let people express themselves. Okay, you know why he says the most goals Sterling score is loose balls in the box. Chelsea always have loose balls in the box, but no finishes. Your thoughts, Declan, on that?
It sounds like an insult more than a prop, doesn't it? He can only score loose balls in the box. If anything, that sounds like an insult
To Sterling.
Sorry, Thompson. Yeah, that sounds like an insult. If Sterling has to wait for loose balls, I don't think he's scoring much. And I mean, a lot of his misses are in the box as well. He has some great misses. I mean, didn't you look up his conversion rate? It was like 13%. I mean, 13% for an attacking player is actually pretty low. But he does a lot more for Man City. That's how he gets in the team. They don't rely on Sterling for converting their goals. And if everything plays well, easy chances come by for anyone to score, including Sterling. I mean, to think that Sterling's going to come in our team and be as good as he was at Man City is a big stretch. But like I said, if there's a measurement on the EPL site on big chances created, and I'm not sure how they actually pick that stat, but if you go by the EPL standard of big chances, right, we were like 6 or 7 behind Man City, right? If you look at the table on goals scored, we were 20 behind Man City, 20 goals. So clearly by that statistic, right, and even some eye tests on some of the chances we have missed, and some of these chances were horrendous, right? You can tell that chances created isn't the major problem, converting. So you get someone like Sterling, who isn't the greatest at that, but he does bring a lot of other things. Well, we're throwing a lot of money and not solving our problem. Hence, why last season no one complained about goal creation. It was goal scoring, and we threw 100 mil at a goal scoring problem. So why would we throw one of the highest wages plus? I don't think it's going to be 35 mil. I think it's 60 mil. 35 mil sounds like a good deal if we're going to get another attacker. But if Sterling's coming in to be our solution, no. unless we're getting another attacker, and then Sterling's playing on the side, then I can see Sterling brings something else. But I just want people that's
quickly
going
while
to
I'm
score.
with you, quickly while I'm
Yeah.
still with you, Declan. So you don't see any chance of Thomas Tuchel changing something, to accommodate him, and he starts firing on all cylinders. You don't see the chance happening.
To make it accommodating for him.
Yeah, to accommodate him, and then he does better. You don't see that happening. You don't see that chance at all.
He accommodates now. He plays inside forward for Man City. Like the people go wider than him. He plays in and around the box. He can come in and just fit. Do you know what I mean? I don't see a problem with that. I just see that he's going to come on and probably do what sometimes Pulisic does. Sometimes Pulisic is great on dribbling and gets in the box and that, but then he doesn't score. So you're going to see those type of games. I think Sterling will do well. It's just he just won't score. I think what you'll see if Sterling came is more of what we do currently, right? But we're just going to miss more chances. So we're just going to be better at making the chances, right? That we already do. That I think we already do, and we're just going to miss more, and we're going to get frustrated again.
Wow. Okay, now, Fahim, I'm going to come to you quickly. Do you agree with everything they've just said, Nick and Declan have just said?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Raheem Sterling, but when I was hearing price tags around 50, 60 million, I was like, there's no point going for a player like Sterling for that amount of money and the wage and the fact that he's on his last year of his contract. But when I was hearing 35, I was like, it's not a bad deal to have because he is. A lot of people want to use this term Premier League proven. He is Premier League proven, scores goals in the Premier League. But if he's more than 35, I wouldn't go for him. He's not a bad player. Thomas Tuchel really likes him and really wants him. I would have to back his words. But if he does, if that's not true, then I wouldn't really want to go for Sterling because there's better options out there that we could go for. Like I have in my head like players like Anthony in the Ajax team, but I think Tuchel really wants players that can play both the left wing, the right wing, even the center. Sterling has experience playing on all three positions, so I think he wants those sort of players that are versatile. So that makes sense why we're linked to players like Sterling, Jesus, and Richarlison.
Okay, looking at this comment on the screen, would you take him over Christian Pulisic?
Not too sure, to be honest. I would rather have both of them at the club, but I wouldn't really get rid of Pulisic to accommodate Sterling. I'd rather keep Pulisic than replace him with Sterling. But if we can have both, I would rather have both.
Yeah, again, I'd rather keep Christian Pulisic than take, if I'm asked to take one of them. To have both, given if we don't have better options available, I think I'd keep them both. But I still believe
Isn't there a 4-year age gap between them?
Sorry? Yeah, I know.
Isn't there a 4?
Yeah, I know
4
he's
years,
older.
yeah?
He's older. You could say Sterling is in his prime.
Yeah, it just depends how you look at it.
Yeah, Tobago, your thoughts on everything the other panelists have said?
I would say if Thomas Tuchel wants Raheem Sterling, we should beg our manager because he will end up being frustrated, and then at the end of the day, he'll be sacked because of frustration, or he will resign. So we need to be careful. Thomas Tuchel have been patient. Last summer, they called him Lukaku and Saul Neges, and then we didn't play too well this season. So this season, we need to back him to make assurance that, you know what, we're going to back you. We won't give you all the players you want, but we'll give you some of them. So if Tuchel wants Sterling, I'm good.
Coach, can I just say something? Tobacco, only a few days ago, I heard you say you don't want Sterling. You were crying you don't want Sterling.
Yes,
now,
yes.
Yeah, but wait a minute, wait. Wait a minute. Look, because we back our manager, every single manager. We backed Sarri, we backed some fans didn't back Sarri, but I did. I back every manager. Lampard, when he came, I backed him. Tuchel, we're backing him. But, you can't back him to get, just get anyone. We need a decent strike number 9 in this club, which we haven't had since Drogba, Costa, and I can go further back. It's too many years now since we had a proper number 9. And Sterling is not the answer. 100%, he's not the answer. If Tuchel wants to make that mistake, it's up to him. But I'm hoping it's all rumors and it's all talk from the tabloids, because I can't believe Tuchel is that. He wants Sterling.
But Nick,
of all players in the world, he wants Sterling. I can't believe. I would do a better job, probably as manager. I wouldn't get Sterling, or get a decent striker. Richarlison is better. Tell me one player who's not better than Sterling. Attacker in the Premier League. Bring me Watkins. Bring me
Nick.
Tony.
Okay, one by one. Well, okay, Nick, go ahead, finish. Let Tobago complete his point. And it looks like Fahim wanted to say something also. Nick, go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because you change your mind, you hated Sterling so much. Now, because you're saying back the manager.
No, I don't hate the player.
You can bring any rubbish in the club and you're going to back the manager. That's what you're saying. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Tobago, make your point. Fahim wants to say something too.
Okay, Nick Blue, look, personally, I don't want Raheem Sterling. But again, happened Tuchel wants him, I'll back him. And in last season, I didn't want Lukaku because how he played. But Chelsea signed him. So they said I don't want Lukaku to play for our club. He should be benched all the time. No, he played, I support him until he goes to another club. So we need to be careful what we are saying here, because if Thomas Tuchel doesn't get his main target, he'll end up being frustrated and then he will resign. So who's the better manager on market that we can replace Thomas Tuchel with?
There's managers.
There are a few top managers available. You were going to say something for him.
But
I was just going to say that we don't really know what Thomas Tuchel really wants. If he knows the squad more than us, he knows what the club need more than us. So we can't keep on saying, "Oh, Thomas Tuchel doesn't want this player, and he prefers this one." We can't say on behalf of him. He knows what the club needs, what the team needs more than us. And if he believes that Sterling is that solution, well, one part of that solution, then we just have to trust in the guy.
And there's something Tobago shared with us, and I want to share it quickly. And with that, I think I agree with you again. Even though, for instance, a prime example would be, I don't really like Richarlison as a player. Is he a good player? He's good, but we have types of players that we prefer, no matter who you are. But I've said if the manager wants him, that's up to him. And there's something in him as a player that I really do like. Look at this, some breaking news. At least she gets to, take all the break from all the blames that's being, dumped on her, whether she's responsible or not. Again, I don't think that's fine. But I'm starting with you, Declan. Your thoughts on this breaking news? I think I found it via Matt Law's page.
Yeah, good news, and another one that I expected, because without Roman's backing, I didn't think she had the pull she had at the club. I thought she was the eyes and ears of Roman. That's all she was, and she was involved in negotiations. She was the face of people to point fingers at. I don't think negotiations are just that simple, how some people think. So, but she was a face to point and blame. So, I think without Roman, she was always set to leave.
Yes, so let me just highlight something you said. She was just the face, to easily point to blame. that doesn't mean that's deals that fell through. We all have fault. We all have faults. He was just a negotiator, and I don't think it's been fair.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
get
she
it. I know. I
wasn't
just
she
wanted to
wasn't everything.
highlight
Yeah.
that. I don't think it's been fair. Really, we have to be truthful to ourselves. Again, and most people forget things she's been able to do for us. Look at how much we sold Morata. Look at how much we sold Diego Costa. Look at how much we sold Eden Hazard to Madrid, who has 1 year left on his contract. People don't talk about those things. They just keep blaming her for things we shouldn't, forgetting as a negotiator, before she even, in most cases, I'd argue, agrees to a deal, she'd have to reach out to the boss and say, okay, look at where we're at right now. What should I do? And they say, okay, go ahead, pay it or don't pay it, but go ahead, declare.
Yeah, so I don't even think she was a sole negotiator, and I also feel that, you know, it was her, what seemed to come off as her decisions were also Roman's decision, right? But now that, and this is probably good news and a good insight on probably why it feels like not much is happening, because you got the two people that run the club actually on the way out, and so the bad news is that the timing is bad. I wish we took over the club earlier and they left, because now to replace them, or who's going to step up, maybe Peter Cech gets his chance, maybe someone else steps in as chairman, could be even Todd Boehly steps in for a bit and wants to see how it runs before we can fill in those roles. You can see that there's in-house issues that we're taking care of, and probably that's to people's biggest concerns. We do kind of miss out on transfers, but I think they'll go hard. I think there's still works, they're still in the works, and I think we're still going to get signings. But you can see what else is going on at the club that's probably caused the delays of not signing anyone.
Yeah, Andrew, welcome to the panel. How you doing, brother?
I'm fine, mate. How are you? How's everyone?
I'm fine. I can't complain. Just give me a few minutes. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Fahim, I'm going to come to you straight away. Your thoughts on the news that Marina to leave Chelsea following Bruce Buck exit?
Yeah, it is what it is. I say, yeah, Marina's going. I mean, I don't know who the replacement is. I think she has some pros and she has some cons. Like everyone does, no one's perfect. So, like I said, I think, yeah.
If you say cons, give us an example.
I don't know. Like for example, the transfers that she didn't get right on the fees, for example, Bakayoko, all those players that I mentioned. But listen, everyone makes mistakes. I'm not gonna just say she was a bad negotiator. She also showed her good negotiation sides as well. So yeah, I've nothing much to say, to be honest.
Okay, and Andrew, your thoughts on Marina, the fact that she's leaving, and what you think about what she's done for the club, if you want to phrase it like that. Are you one of those? I want to know if you're one of those that think everything that went wrong was our fault.
No. Overall, I think she's done a very good job. She's, she's been one of the faces throughout trying times since Abramovich had issues with his visa and everything like that. Overall, I think she's done a good job. Sure, there are questionable transfers that have come in, and maybe some of the deals, are questionable. No doubt about it. But overall, I think she's done a very good job. People seem to blame her for every player that we buy. Remember, she's not a scout. She's she's part of the board, and she makes up part of the board where they decide on who they're going to buy, etc., and then get the sign off from Roman to sign before that. But overall, I think she's done a very good job. Like you said, she's brought in some good players, and we signed some good players, and we haven't signed some good players. That's like that most clubs. But like you said, I mean, she's still, negotiated some transfers away from this club that you wouldn't believe. Like, for instance, the Morata deal to get 60 million for Morata, given what he produced for us, is something of a coup. Like I say, Diego Costa, none of us wanted to sell him, but we had to sell him, is out. And maybe that's why, someone just said it about a minute ago, maybe that's why we are it's perceived that we are being very slow in the transfer market at this moment in time because she's not going to be doing the negotiations. I think it was inevitable she goes. I was a bit surprised when they said, oh, she'll be there for a few months in the transition. She's worked with Roman Abramovich for over 20 years. It's not only like a professional relationship, it's a personal relationship as well. So I can understand that she's going. In a way, it's probably best that she goes as soon as possible because then it allows Todd Boehly to do what he wants to do by either taking control fully himself or trying to install people. But it'd be interesting to see who's doing the negotiations now. I'm reading that apparently Todd Boehly's going to do the negotiations. I don't know if that's true. I can't think that to be true, whether he's going to do that since you know.
I doubt he'd have the time to even do that. I think that rumor might have started because he got involved in the Lukaku situation. Again, there are a few reasons why few factors. If you look at them, you say, okay, then maybe that's the reason. He has, I think, a link with Jay-Z regarding Rock Nation, sports management and all that. So that that may have been he just wanted to make sure that happens because the player wants out. That's obvious. But that's, by the way. While I'm still with you, before I go to LBZ, I want to get your thoughts. The fight we started here early was about Raheem Sterling. People have the opinion of the player, but they say numbers don't lie. Some people have also, the club mentioned his conversion rate. Nick didn't hide his feelings about the player. He sort of talked about Thomas Tuchel being sacked if he signs Raheem Sterling. He's going to flop and it's going to get him sacked or something like that. Now, the question I want to ask you, your thoughts on the player, and again, based on this comment on the screen also from Liam Lane, who says in 2019? In 209 Premier League appearances, Sterling has had 82 goals and 31 assists, and people say he's not good. That is a good assist every. That is a good. What else do you want to say? Assist every other game. I think I will stick to TT's knowledge in what a good player he is. Again, and the rumors are that Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of the player. So your thoughts, and also considering the fact, if in fact it is the truth, that Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of Raheem Sterling.
I think it's an excellent deal. Even if it's more than 35 million, I think it's an excellent deal. He's a vast improvement on what we have at this moment in time. I heard Nick say, he'd rather keep Lukaku than Sterling. So I didn't understand that whatsoever. I think Nick's a bit hurt that we're not going for Lewandowski.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you, Andrew. Let me tell you. Look, all our attackers, we have a better.
Nick, let him finish. Let him finish, Nick. Let him finish.
Let me answer him.
No.
Because
I'll
rather
Nick, let him finish. Let him finish. You will come in. Let him finish. Go ahead, Andrew.
Sterling is a better finisher than all our finishers at the club. He has outscored since his time at Man City all our current attackers at the club by about 10 goals. He's not a big creator, so people are expecting he's not going to create. That's fine, but he'll be there to. I said it on another stream. I want him to do what he does best. I want tap-ins. When's the last time we scored multiple tap-ins? I want that. I want him. His movement is better than most of our, if not all of our players. I want that. I want him finished.
So when you say tapping, as in him tapping in or our strikers tapping in?
Him making the movement, coach. How many times has we seen in the current 2 years someone will spray the ball across the middle of the box and not one of our guys are there?
But here's something I have to point out quickly.
Yeah.
I think I've alluded to that a bit by saying Manchester City's their chances in most times come on the plate, given the way they play. They're always looking for the best place, the best positioned player. Okay. And we differ in that aspect in the sense that we play as a unit when we defend. But once we get to the final third, everybody wants to be the hero. You could argue that for Chelsea. So wouldn't you think that would be a problem for him? Because we don't play like that, except if we change.
The thing is, I think two things. I wouldn't see how he plays for Man City. I would see how he plays for England. Yeah, not Man City. I think we're closer to England in chance creation than we are City. So he usually starts on the right for England. I know he sometimes starts on the left, but you know he's proven to score goals at international level for England. So I would look at us like that. I also think though, I would like Dembele and Sterling in, and I think if we get them in, I think this is a sign that we may be switching formation. Because if you think about it, coach, if he sticks with the 3-4-3, where does, say, a player like Mason Mount then suddenly fit into this team? If you're looking at a front three of Dembele, Sterling, and Kai Havertz, where do they essentially fit in? But to say that some of these Chelsea fans, I'm not exactly saying anyone on this panel, but what I've read, like they're comparing him to someone like Timo Werner, which is an absolute disgrace because Werner is one of the worst players to ever play football, let alone for Chelsea. But to actually think that some of these Chelsea fan base to turn their nose up on a proven winner and goal scorer in this league is an absolute disgrace. What I'm hearing. So, but I just think it'll be an overall great deal, even if it's more than 35 million. I think you're going to look at a deal somewhere if it goes through, somewhere in the region of 45 million plus add-ons. You know, whatever these add-ons are, league goals or whatever. That's what I think you're going to see. But until we see it, it's fun to discuss. But I think we are in need of improvements in the front area, and Sterling is a vast improvement of what we currently have.
No, I don't agree. One word what you said, Andrew.
I'm sorry that you're wrong.
Let me come in now.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the number 9s we had in the past. We had a Drogba, we had a Costa, we had Kerry Dixon, we had Finiston. I could go back, and we always had a great number 9 at this club.
Right.
Sterling is not the answer. And, you know, for England, did you watch the last game? How many chances did he miss? Paul Reece-James killing himself to get crosses to him. He missed every single chance.
I think he missed one. That was it.
Don't interrupt me, right?
Okay.
Sterling is not a Chelsea player because he's English and he's overrated. You know, I'm glad Pep's in the light. He knows he's rubbish. That's why they want him rid of. Yeah, you got all that, all right. Let me come up. You know what? I hope he comes to Chelsea, and I will come back at you.
Yeah.
I will come back.
Your argument in a matter of minutes, Nick. Don't worry, I'll destroy it in a matter of minutes. But let's go.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you know I like you. You're my friend.
I know. That's why I'm going to enjoy debating you.
But with Sterling, I don't see it working. I still can't believe Tuchel wants him. And Boehly has to step in and save Thomas Tuchel's career, because if Sterling comes, you know, and he's a flop, and you know things will get worse.
I agree.
Todd Boehly has a choice to sack him anyway.
Wait a minute, I'm talking now. Do I interrupt you, Declare? Yeah. Look, yeah. So you see, you have to interrupt. You can't keep out of it. So look, if Sterling comes and it doesn't work, there's going to be big problems at this club. It's going to be even worse than the Lukaku situation, because Sterling won't score no goals at all. You see how many chances he misses, open goals he misses, and what surprise you going to have from the Chelsea midfield? Don't forget, he had De Bruyne giving him great chances, and he still missed. So I don't see Sterling as the answer for our club.
So if
they want to make the mistake and bring him, let them bring him so I can go back to Andrew and ask him what's going on.
I would just say this: I don't think Tuchel thinks a number 9 and just a number 9 works in this system. I think he wants a fluid, interchangeable front three, and that's why number 9 won't work. That's why Lukaku won't work in the system. That's why Lewandowski wouldn't work in this system whatsoever. That's what I think Tuchel thinks. Okay.
It's not even anything that he thinks. It's something that he's done at every club.
Exactly. And
Tuchel wanted Lewandowski.
Second of all, you said that
Tuchel wanted Lewandowski. So what you?
I don't know. Okay,
all right, let's go one by one. When everybody's talking, no one is talking. We can't hear anybody. Andrew was saying something.
Also, I think one of your comments, you said, "Oh, Pep's finally figured it out and wants to get rid of him. He's been managing him for 6-7 seasons, so it's not as if he wanted to get rid of him. You know, he's been playing him multiple times. He's scored multiple times. One area where I do agree with you. If it's just Sterling alone, I'm not happy. I want a Dembele in terms of his creation, or a creative player like Dembele, and it works better. I do agree with you on that. I also agree with you that the other areas of the squad, like the wing backs and the rotational wing backs, have to be in this squad as well, because of the way the 3-4-3 works, where you're going to need the most creative is probably going to come from wide, which will then facilitate and allow Sterling to do what he does best, which is movement and getting the areas that we lack in this current forward line. That's what I'm saying. I just don't think Tuchel, if you look at it, I think Declared said it. I don't think he's played with a traditional 9 like that in his front three. I can't remember. And you're going to say maybe Aubameyang sometimes plays on the left at Dortmund and stuff like that. And like PSG, there was. Look at when he tried to include Icardi in his front three. It just didn't look right. So, but like I said, proof's in the pudding, right? If we get these players, it's up to them, Tuchel, to do what he needs to do, isn't it? So,
quickly, Andrew, I know you say you have a few minutes on the panel here. The question I want to ask you quickly is this: do you think he'd do better than he'd done at Man City at Chelsea?
In part areas, I do agree with Nick in terms of it's on us to facilitate that. It's to help. So we need to not only just add Sterling, we need to add another creator up there as well, like a Dembele, even though I have red flags about Dembele in other areas, like a Dembele or something like that, and facilitate and get good rotation for the wing backs as well. And midfield, I mean, we have so many holes in this squad that need filling, but that's why I said to you, if we get Dembele and Sterling, does that then give Tuchel or thinking that Tuchel may change the formation then? Because you're looking at people go, well, where then do you add a player like Mount? Because I don't see Mount sitting on the bench, even if we get these 2 players, and he's not a pivot player. So does that then allow Tuchel to change the formation, to go to a back 4, to go to the 3 in midfield? That may happen. I know people want that. Also, a percentage of fans want that in this fan base. But like I said, I don't know sometimes what Chelsea fans want after seeing 2 years of this dross in the front line. I can understand Nick wants, and I totally understand if Lewandowski came in, I wouldn't turn down Lewandowski, but it's just we need like multiple surgeries, and I don't think we're going to get it done this summer, all of it. I think we're going to be suffering for at least a year or 2. So.
Yeah, it was never going to be a single window project, no matter how you see it. And if we really want to,
I was saying about Lewandowski because Tuchel wanted Lewandowski, but we can't get him because
Nick, how do you know Tuchel wanted Lewandowski?
Because he said it in his interview. I heard him in the interview or in press conference. He said he wanted Lewandowski if Lukaku goes. That's why.
Okay. All right. But, thank you very much.
We didn't get him, but Sterling is not the solution. We need a top player, or a Young, or a Watkins, or someone like that. I prefer getting Sterling. That's my preference. Everyone has their preference. And if he does come and wears that blue shirt, I will still back the team. But, I will be looking at Sterling with 100 eyes, not 4.
Watkins.
Well, you just said it. Everybody has their preference, and Tuchel has his preference. And if indeed he wants Sterling, so be it. I'm all for it. And with that, I want to say thank you for already 40 likes. But we have 73 people watching. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like I've always said before, look, I prefer the likes than the donations, because the likes do go a long way for the channel. You don't even have to donate. All I ask of you is just like the video, because the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more we'll be able to reach more people. I'm going to catch up with the chat and I'll come to LBZ to give him his thoughts on Raheem Sterling before we move ahead. Yeah, Triple says yes. I celebrate the down. Is it? I don't know if you meant downfall of a woman who was still bringing in money even in May. The woman who fobbed off Morata Costa to Atletico Madrid for what we paid, 760 million on fees combined for Chile and Havertz. Again, you gotta give it to her. She's a shrewd negotiator. I must say that. Again,
She made a lot of mistakes too, didn't she?
that's the truth. Nobody's perfect, but more good
Yeah.
than than the mistakes in question. Again, says Kepa and Lukaku money. Let's say says Marina done a 50% a job at Chelsea. Again, that's your opinion. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm not. The same thing that has happened to Marina over the years will be happening to Todd Boehly in coming years. People are hardly talking about the other owners. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, again, I'm just going to skip everything down. So LBC, I'm just going to bring you in. If I see anything I'd like the panel to address, I will quickly do that. LBC, your thoughts on Raheem Sterling? Do you want him at Chelsea? Do you think, we'd see an improved Sterling at Chelsea? Because I'm going to bring us back to my point. A prime example I use is Antonio Rudiger, who you could argue was on his way out of the gates of Stamford Bridge, but boom, the moment Thomas Tuchel came, he became one of the best players at the club. Your thoughts on Raheem Sterling?
Yeah. Do you remember when we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, we did, but I just saw. Yeah,
his addition. It's the same thing again. Now it's looking like reality, innit? So
yeah, it's looking like it is the truth.
I'm not even against this move. I think it will be a good addition. He will add what we don't have. He may create a lot of chances with his direct running inside the box. He could play either flanks or left and right, sort of like Pulisic. I think he's more effective than Pulisic. Maybe it's arguable that his goal conversion and Pulisic's goal conversion, Pulisic may edge it, but I feel it's more direct than Pulisic, which create more chances in the box, penalties getting won, etc. For the fee, anywhere between 30 to 50 plus, let's say 15 million in add-ons. Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's not a bad signing at all. Yeah, it's not a bad signing at all. Obviously, there's argument that obviously we're getting someone that a team don't want. So if you take that theory, then obviously you're in a
just quickly. Is it really that Pep don't want him, or is it because they're not coming to terms in terms of new salary?
Oh, 100%. If a guy's contract is finishing next year and he's on a current wage, he's not going to get a wage cut. It's going to be improved. Man City, I don't think, not say they can't afford to. I mean, they can afford anything, but I don't think they'll feel it as feasible enough to offer Sterling, say, another 5-year contract at 300k a week, when the likes of Haaland is already there. You know what I mean? So I feel they're trying to explore more options. Thank you, Sterling, for your services type thing, and take a new direction. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. So I'm not in that camp where because Sterling's out of City, he's done out there. No, Sterling could do absolute mad things for us. But again, we still may need to strengthen so that could be more feasible. Because if you look at the Man City side, Sterling's got players around him that is going to make him give him the opportunities to create chances for a striker. When he was with David Silva, when David Silva and Sterling were playing together, oh my God, it was too much of quality. And that was only down to David Silva bringing him into play, then playing intricate passes in that penalty box for things to happen. So Sterling will need that same support around him for us.
Do we have anything close to David Silva in our team?
Now we're talking. So now we're in a new discussion of investment around it. I believe maybe Havertz can improve his game. He's still young. He can improve his game. He can work well with the flanks. I forgot who mentioned it. One of the panels mentioned it, that if we are looking to get Ousmane and Raheem, there is a mindset that Tuchel may change this process. So we're coming from a 4-3-5 at the back to a 4-2-3-1. Ousmane and Raheem on either side of the flank, Kai behind the top man striker, whoever that may be, as Romelu is leaving. So obviously this adds a bit more. Again, I'm not in the camp of what we did last season. Due to injuries, we started making makeshift players wingers. Mason Mount is not a winger. He was never a winger. He's an attacking midfielder. He's a midfielder behind the main man. He can play deep line. He can play box to box. He can play attacking. Having him out wide was not. It was hindering us. Whilst he put a few shifts in, it was hindering us. So yes, we need that input out wide. We need cover for Pulisic. Because Pulisic is an injury-prone player. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna have Sterling coming in, the rotation is there already. Either side of the wing, Ousmane as well with Hakim. I can't rest my laurels on Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I can't do it. So yeah, addition of Raheem Sterling is welcomed 100%.
Wow, that's such a delicious response to all these things we're talking about, making sense of the whole situation and bringing up the importance of the players around the player in question, which it's talked about David Silva and how well he did when David Silva was still available at Man City. That's a great point.
He made Raheem look as if the winger, I don't know if you just look back onto David Silva's for the last couple of seasons. Oh my God, Raheem was getting numbers as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you got someone around, someone as intelligent as David Silva to be able to bring players in. It weren't just Raheem. It was Leroy as well. Leroy Sané and Raheem were having a field day. So so it's what you. It's the middle. I believe we have someone like Mason Mount and Kai Havertz that can do that. Obviously, it may be a change in formation in which the wide men will need to be more width, so the attacking midfielders can find them, exploiting each side of the flanks. I believe that we have the midfield attacking to work that, but obviously we will need to make sure the players around are not just. We can't have individual stars. We can't have too much of an individuality stars. The team needs to work together. There needs to be a blend. There needs to be cohesion. There was a little bit of cohesion that was lacking in our side last season in terms of the front three. It was a bit. It was drab. You could argue, Lukaku made it a bit messed up or this, that, and the third, but there was still no cohesion. So we need to get it right. And I'll welcome Raheem. I'll my brother, come back to London, whatever, I'll welcome it.
Are you sure you're not being biased here? Because you sure you're not. No, Nick, you can't respond to everybody. We're just gonna go on and on and on and on. If you don't mind, please.
He just said it himself.
Go ahead, Nick. Nick, can I hear you? What do you say? LBC, what were you saying?
I've been thrown off point now. Sorry. What was it?
I asked you, are you sure you're not being biased? You just said your brother. Welcome back to London.
No, not at all. Not bad. But like Raheem Sterling, before he was in charge, he was a Liverpool player, so he come from London straight to Liverpool. So it's not a situation where you're coming home. No. It will just work well. It just fall into place. He's going to come back to London, come back home. It's not a situation where he will be, I'm finding it hard to settle. Am I liking this town? No. It ticks all the boxes in your accommodation back to Chelsea, to Chelsea, moving him back to London. It just ticks all the boxes. So I will welcome it. We're not getting a player that's, what's he done last year? How was his numbers last season? How would he adjust to England? Does he, when we're not having that discussion with Raheem. And when if he was to come to Stamford Bridge, I believe he'll probably fit in well. It's not I can't settle down to the culture situation. No. I don't think so. So yeah, it makes sense. Obviously, it's arguable because obviously a lot of players don't want another man's trash. Certain fans won't want Pep Guardiola's sales to be our profit, our player, because they believe if Pep didn't want him, why would we want him? Or if Pep didn't want him, why would we want him to bridge the gap between us and Liverpool? Well, players are professional. They're not everyday guys. They're not just wake up and say, I'm not feeling it today. They're professional. They get paid big bucks to do what they do. And I believe if Raheem comes, he's going to know what time it is. He's going to have to kick ball properly. And I believe if Thomas Tuchel, you've got a coach like Thomas Tuchel, definitely can add a different impetus to his game. He's been under a Spanish manager for the past, 7 years? 6-7 years? He's going to be under a German coach. Will add another impetus to his game. So it can only be beneficial. I don't see
Can
it
I
as a downer.
question? What's his name? What's your name?
My
LBZ,
name's
LBZ.
IBZ, yeah,
Uh,
it's IBZ Ibrahim.
I,
How you
not
want to call it?
L. Okay, IBZ.
Aye,
Sorry.
aye, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I,
No, it's all right, my brother.
yeah, you just said it yourself.
Yeah,
Sterling had Silva, he had De Bruyne, and the rest of them to
aye,
give him the service. And
correct.
when he was good, that time he was scoring. But the last 2 seasons, I haven't seen him being that good. He's been missing more than scoring lately, missing easy chances and diving all over the place. If he comes to Chelsea and does that, what's that? He will get yellow cards, red cards, and he won't be good for the team. So,
But okay.
I'm just saying,
No,
you said it
no,
yourself. He had these players. We don't have De Bruyne
I,
or Silva.
I
We don't
understand.
have
I
Fabregas.
understand that you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is why it is good for us to look at the recruitment in which to facilitate the players in making sure we get the best out of them. So
So
obviously,
IBZ, you're saying if we sign him, we have to change, adjust our recruitment plan.
100%. I mean, what have we not? I mean, what? 100%. What, we're just going to
So
spend?
it's not like you don't disagree with Nick, but to make him work at Chelsea, things have to change. I get your point.
I mean, to get the best out of the players, I mean, we can't just bring in 4 or 5 players and expect them to adjust to a system.
I said we didn't change anything for Lukaku. So what
No.
makes you think we're going to change?
Well, Lukaku plays up top by himself, like he's a lone striker. Whatever you play, 4-2-3-1, 4. He's going to be 4-3-3. He's going to be a lone striker. 4-2-3-1. He's going to be a lone striker. 3-5-2, 3-5-1, or whatever. He's going to be a lone striker. So it's all about his position is different comparison to the wingers. If you're talking about Ousmane and Raheem, you're going to have to accommodate those 2 wingers so you can get the ball into that box, so you can get.
But they can play inside forward, can't they?
To attack. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. You could play inside forward. You could put Raheem on the left and Ousmane on the right. But you can also do it.
But it still doesn't work for me. There's one of the 3. Why Mason Mount is crucial. One of them has to come back and make up the 3 in the midfield.
That's why you put a 4-2-3-1. Me, I'll put a 4-2-3-1. Me, I'll put a 4-2-3-1.
No, what I honestly think is going to happen is that if we can find someone that can do what Jorginho does with defensive attributes, we can take out 1 centre back. We don't, and it just means we have to buy 1 less. So I think we still play exactly the same, and we can bring a midfielder for a centre back. I think the reason why we have so many defenders
I forgot
there.
the brother's name. The one with the glasses. Sorry, bro. I don't know. I forgot. You keep messing me forgetting your name. He mentioned. Nice one, Andrew. He mentioned like it is going to be surgical. We are, and if care is not taken, we will be like United, and it may be a difficult couple years before we get it right. We need positions. Like I said, in like a month ago or so, I said we need to strengthen every single department from the back, the midfield, wing backs including. Got into a debacle with the wing back especially. And all parts of the midfield, defense, and striker, we need to get that right. Obviously, with Ousmane and Raheem, that's more impetus out wide. Looking at the wing back situation, if that's the case, obviously we're going to play 5 at the back. But again, we need to get it right, guys. We need to get it right. It might not happen this window. It might take us a few windows, but we need to get it right so we have a good. I mean, I saw Tottenham, Arsenal. They're looking like they've got a structure in place, and obviously, I don't want to be. I'm a bit patient. I know that all the business will come. Where in June, by July, businesses will be booming, and we're going to see things coming in. We won't be able to keep up. I understand, but it just looks as if we may be on a decline if we're not, if we're not hasty enough, we're not quick enough. But yeah, Raheem Sterling, I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's see what's the worst that's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Andrew, I don't know how much time you have. And Nick, were you gonna? Okay, I think Nick already responded to. He wanted to say something, but he asked him.
Do something. You're looking at Sterling like he's in the bracket of Lewandowski or someone like that. You're bringing a player who misses open goals, and you expect us to, get better. That ain't gonna happen. We can only get worse if he comes. I'm telling you now.
How do you know that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to trust the process,
that,
my friend.
You don't. You don't know that. You're guessing.
Exactly.
You're guessing.
You don't know that exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to play well.
It's the same, Andrew. You're saying he's good for us. I'm saying he's not.
can't automatically say we're going to get worse when we sign
Yeah.
Raheem
What if he
Sterling.
what if he
How
becomes
much
a
worse?
success?
How much worse can we get? How much worse are we now
We're not that bad
with
anyway.
Lukaku?
With the
Lukaku
players
in
we've
this
got,
team?
Andrew, they're better than Sterling.
No, they're
Every
not.
single one is better.
No,
Even
they're
Werner's
not. No,
better.
they're not. No,
Yes,
they're
he is.
not.
Yes,
No,
he
they're
is.
not.
Werner's
Nick,
not better
that is one of
than
the
Sterling
poorest.
out wide.
That's one of the
No way.
poorest
You think,
asinine takes I've ever heard you say.
Got to keep Werner there and see what he does this year. And
Werner is one of the worst players to ever play football, let alone play for Chelsea. Okay?
No.
Yes, oh my God, Nick, please. Just say you don't like Sterling, but don't ever say Werner's
I don't
better
care.
than him.
I like him.
For Christ's sake.
I
What
want to
have you
see
been watching
Chelsea
the past
how he
2
was.
years?
No,
2
Andrew,
years?
you're wrong. No.
No, you're
You
wrong,
can
Nick,
say
and it's
he's
proven.
good, I'll say
It's
he's
proven,
bad.
Nick. Nick,
So-
you're
So
wrong, and it's
just
proven.
quickly, I think we should just move on. We should just move on from the Raheem Sterling debate. But before we do that, because we just keep going round and round, because we're all entitled to our opinions, and whoever you come to, we're so, as I'm seeing it, everybody in this on this panel is a strong world. Everybody was just trying to defend their opinion of the player. The question I want to quickly ask is this: let's talk about Romelu Lukaku. We're hearing that he's nearing, his second exit from Chelsea Football Club. And it just sounded as if before time, sounded as if his stay at the club, sounded like it's hindering quite a lot of stuff in terms of signing new players. I think to some, there'll be no clarity what that means. So Andrew, I'm starting with you. Your thoughts, or what Lukaku's departure, what will it mean? How does he, aid our transfer plans? Because it seems like what was being said before is that he's the reason we haven't made some signings, if you want to see it that way.
I think when it comes to the forward line, it's a it's a one out, one in policy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe because we have if we include Mason Mount, we have 6, 7 attackers in this current thing. So I believe it's a one in, one out, one in. It's also I think it will help the dressing room because I think his energy, his attitude stinks. I think it will just to get rid of him. I think will help Thomas Tuchel and the squad a lot as well, knowing that they've got him out, knowing how he's behaved and everything like that. I also will probably facilitate the Sterling transfer, in my opinion, when we get him out. And then you look at then who else to sign out, who else to get rid of. My options would be to try and get rid of Werner, but there's no market I can see for Werner at the moment, given a transfer fee and his wages, unless he's willing to reduce his wages. And we have the transfer fee. The next option, then probably easiest to get out, is a Ziyech. But I just think, especially with the forwards, I think it is going to be a one out, one in. But I'm pleased that he's gone. I don't want to keep a player who doesn't want to stay here, doesn't want to be here. He's actively pushed himself to go out, which is good. He's not going to sit there and sulk like he's waiting for his contract to run out. Just to get him gone, I think it's one of the most important transfers this summer just to get him out. Whether you like the loan fee or not, I believe the loan fee is lowered because I think Inter Milan have offered to pay all of his wages, which is a good thing as well. That will help us. So I just think all in all, it's just what's needed. He wasn't going to fit here. He's got a grand delusion of himself. And I think Serie A is a good league for him for his basic skills, which he has. So I think.
Do you have any idea of the structure, of the deal? My concern has always been, being the loan deal being with an option to buy, which will be a huge risk. But some say it is with an obligation to buy because it wouldn't make sense to be with an option to buy, which means also, after a year or two he just comes back to us and we're stuck with him.
Is it 1 year? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years?
I'm not sure the duration. I think there's no clarity yet. Yeah. But what we're hearing is that he's agreed terms and the whole thing will be completed soon.
I think an obligation to buy I think it's a must. That might be also one of the reasons, Coach, that the loan fee may be reduced as well. That there has to be an obligation to buy.
It makes sense now.
Because you're right. If it's 2 years and there's just an option and, they can't do it, then we're just going to have this again in 2 years, aren't we? Where he's older, he's 31,
Yeah.
and he's harder to shift at that age as well. So I hope it's an obligation to buy. I really do.
I think
Yeah,
I hope what I hope
Nick.
it will be a 2-year deal.
Yeah, Nick, your thoughts quickly on the Lukaku thing.
My friend,
What does it mean?
yeah, look, he showed his true colours, I'm afraid. I backed him, I backed him all the way when he came after the interview. I backed him.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't punch me that period.
Yeah, I was really. I think you deserve it. No, yeah, maybe you deserve it, but look, yeah, I backed him, as you know, and he proved me wrong. I was wrong, and Johnny boy, I will apologize to Johnny because I was fighting with him, as Andrew knows, fighting for Lukaku. And Johnny was right. He wasn't a Chelsea player, never will be a Chelsea player. And, we can't have players who don't want to be here. The sooner he's gone anyway, he's changed slowly. Good riddance to him. I thought he would do good, but, Tuchel didn't understand the way he wanted to play. And he couldn't change the whole team for Lukaku. So I don't blame Tuchel for that. And yeah, the sooner the better. Let's hope he's gone by the time I go to Chelsea, Everton. I mean, I don't want to see Lukaku sitting on the bench. So yeah, the sooner the better. And I just want to say about Marina because you didn't ask me. Marina.
Yeah, I'll come back to that. I know I haven't asked you, but go ahead if you want to talk about it right now, Nick.
I'm going to shoot off, Coach. I've just got to do a few
all right,
things,
bro.
but thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, so Marina, she's done great for this club. The 20 years with Roma, miracles. She's done absolute great. I never hate her. She got it wrong in a couple of seasons, but it's not her, just down to Marina. That was the situation we were in. And Roman, Roman did what he had to do, but even Roman gets things wrong, like Lukaku. We all thought he'd be a great player, a great striker. Every single Chelsea fan was, he's the next best thing. We can't get Haaland or Lewandowski or Kane, and we all wanted Lukaku, so Roman brought us Lukaku. So you can't blame Marina or Roman or no one. But things football. Things change every second. Yeah, I just want to say good luck to Marina wherever she goes.
Yeah, good luck to her. Quickly, let me start with you. Before I didn't know when did Raheem leave. Okay, Raheem has left. Sorry, IBZ, your thoughts on Lukaku leaving? Again, you heard everything I told Andrew before I got his response. It was sounding as if Lukaku was the person holding everything back. Even Fabrizio Romano did say something similar, and other journalists say everything depends on what happens with the Lukaku deal. So if that's the case, can you educate the viewers why that has always been an issue, waiting for Lukaku to leave before things can kick off properly?
Yeah, because he's the biggest asset that needs to leave. So him leaving, the sooner he leaves, the better in terms of restructuring. He's the main striker. I wouldn't think he'll be feasible enough to put money out there or throw money out on a new striker without sorting the finances surrounding Lukaku's departure, which is what I believe they're going to do, which is also why I believe July is the big month for us in terms of getting everything in and out. Lukaku leaving, I have to echo my brother over here who just mentioned he has to hold his hands up and say, prove him wrong. Lukaku proved me wrong too. He shows that he don't want to be here. And his attitude towards that is only signaling that we just need to let go and move on. Swallow the pill. We took the L. We put a lot of money behind him. We put a lot of faith in him to be the number one, and he failed. And we can easily say it's time to go. I don't think it will be time to weather up how bad he has been in comparison to some of the strikers who've walked through the door over the years. But obviously, he's certainly up there. But now it's obviously time to just to pack up and leave. Your love for Inter Milan is undeniable. You've made it known to the world, and now it's just time for us to put that in motion. If we put that in motion and he leaves now we need to. I don't care what no one says. We need a striker. We need a number 9, a number 9, a number 9, and a number 9. We need a number 9, and I don't know how it's going to happen. Yeah, the first thing before that happens is
for the argument that we need a number 9. I think I disagree. Honestly, respectfully, I disagree with you on that. The same thing will happen. It will happen again. Thomas Tuchel isn't the man, to bring in a number 9 for. He's shown he doesn't like to play with traditional number 9s. If you come, you just be a bit part player. It just be only when he plays a certain teams, then he decides maybe I need a traditional number 9 today. Yeah, I don't know if you get my point.
No. I feel you, because obviously we can't even determine what's the best striker Thomas Tuchel has worked with, or what type of striker he is. We've debated this before. But from the look of our team, we need someone that's finishing chances, creating it with his off-the-ball runs, and finishing the dinner that's put on the plate. You understand? Are we going to put faith in Timo Werner? Are we going to say, you know what, Timo, this year you're the striker. You play inside forward, up top. You could argue he has that best mode for Timo Werner's style. You can run in behind. You're a great idea. Can he do it? It's arguable. But what I believe is that if we are going to kind of bridge that up, we need to find Romelu Lukaku's replacement, a striker that's hungry, who wants to be here and wants to score goals. That is what we need. That's what I believe we need. I don't see us doing it without a striker. I'll be if he can do it, if he can improve us this year without a striker or traditional number 9. That's credit to his coaching ability and his tactical management. But I don't see us in this Premier League bridging the gap between Liverpool and Man City without a number 9, who they have just strengthened. That's a big ask. So yeah.
We'll see. We have Pep has done it before. I think Liverpool has done it before, but we'll see what happens. I get your point.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Obviously, when they did it, they Jota could play up front, Firmino, you know what I mean? And obviously they had Gabby, and they could make a false Pep's team. You could afford to have a false 9 most of the time. We can't afford that. We can't afford that in our squad, which is why we need that heavily investment to make sure we get the best out of players that we are bringing in. And also, in my opinion, I would love a striker in, and a striker. I get that though. We don't know what is Thomas Tuchel's number 9 preference and what he molds his striker to be. So we can only guess, and we can only think that he doesn't even want one, and he's just going to mold the team in a way where he don't need to play with a striker. Oh yeah, in Tuchel we trust if that's the case. But I believe that in this squad here, a striker will make our lives very much easier. But
thank you very much. Again, I'm going to quickly catch up with what we have in the chat. I've scrolled past it quite a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of input in the chat. And again, we have 53 likes while we still have around 73 to 74 people watching. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video. Let's shoot for at least 150 likes by the end of the show. And I know we can get there. So please keep liking the video and also keep subscribing to the channel if you haven't. This is Rodrigo Rogers here says, I'm told Barca fans that Dembele is a very bad finisher, almost like Werner. I think he's being sarcastic here. Watkins, nope, I don't think so. Yes, Oli Watkins is seriously good. How well did he do last season? Again, I don't know. Again, we're not linked to him, so let's keep talking about the players that we heard that the managers wants the club to bring in Raheem. Says Arkan, this is just a conversation, says most Chelsea supporters are like some spoiled children every children, every team they see they want. You could argue that all the fans are like that too. It just seems as if they're scouting for the club. They see every player they suggest in the club should go for player A, player B, C. I've seen my fellow Nigerians call for the club to sign. What's his name from Napoli? Ousmane. I've seen Ghanaians calling for him to sign Ghanaians. My English friends calling for the club to sign English players. It's a common thing. Again, we fight for our own people. If you want to phrase it that way, since we are going to have two Starlings, explain why you say that. Again, just a conversation. City wants 60 million for Sterling. Only 1 year left on his contract. Well, Chelsea can get the deal done for 40 to 45 million, probably, or even less. It depends because they risk losing him on a free. And is it 1 year really left on his contract? I thought it was two. Havertz, Mount, and Gallagher, all central attacking midfielders. Havertz is not in the same mode as David Silva. They're both silky, but I think there are other attributes that make them differ. Again, can we get over this Pulisic is injury prone? Why are we going after Dembele? Pulisic is only 23. Again, yep, that's another argument there. Apparently, Dembele is
Coach,
very
I'll
bad
have to
at
be
finishing.
back. Sorry to cut you off, Coach. Sorry, I'll be back in like 20 minutes.
All right, no problem, bro. City wants 60 million for Sterling. He has only 1 year left on his contract. Is it 1 year really? If you're on the panic, can you let me know? I hope Chelsea can nail the deal. Was it 1 year?
Yeah, that's why we said that fee is so much.
Wow, then it's too much. We'll just leave him. Yeah, now I get your point. Now I understand your argument very well, Declan. So why should we be paying such amount for him? Yes, again, please keep liking the video, guys. Like I've said before, I'd rather you like the video than donate to the channel. The likes do go a long way for the channel because the more you like the video, the more people would be able to reach. And the more people we have here, the more fun we'd have. Plus, more people subscribe to the channel and we hit 4,000 subscribers as soon as possible. But I know we will get there soon because, okay, let me see what else we have here. It says, okay, I've read that before. Playing two DMs and wingers as inside forwards against teams with centralized low blocks. Yeah, that doesn't help either. Again, I've always been against playing 2 6s because one can suffice. But you could argue it depends on the people we have, in the team. But let's see what happens if he gets in the players he wants. Let me see anything else here to address our defense. We need Kounde, Bremer, Skriniar, and Koulibaly. Apparently, Inter now wants to sell Bremer, but they refuse, for the Lukaku deal to be involved as a player money exchange. I knew that wasn't going to be easy because we owed them some money. It was going to be very, very difficult. Chama Joseph Nadalo, she says, if we don't take Sterling, then who else can we get? That's a good question. I'm going to highlight this. Maybe if we have time enough, we'll try to address it later. Juve looking to pair Koulibaly with Delete. So they're not willing to sell Delete at this point. You could argue that Jorginho has defensive attributes. Yeah, because he's able to read the game. If he finds, in some cases, he finds himself in the right place, he can break up play. Is he the best defensively? No, he's not. But he does have defensive attributes. Imagine a front three of Sterling, Werner, Dembele. The opposition goalkeeper can take a day off. I think it would be a good combo for obvious reasons. Let me see what we have here. Instead of Jorginho, we need Sangare and Brozovic. We'll see what happens. It depends on what the manager wants. And Jorginho doesn't have defensive attributes. I think he has, to a certain measure. If you ask me, he's able to read the game, but he's not the best at it. It says, okay, Rodrigo, there you go. The chat are laughing at you. Frank Lampard must be having one of the best birthdays ever. Woke up to breakfast in bed, read that book of Marina News, took a sip of his tea, and just went, yeah, it's a good day. I got you, Glenn. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Rodrigo against S3 Blue. I fear that Chelsea fans are starving for any signing. They are happy to take anyone, including people who cannot score. I get your point. I knew you were being sarcastic. Again, Nick, why are you so negative? Oh my, okay. Maybe because he doesn't like the player. It's as simple as that. I'm going to put it that way. It says, your name, NX Commander says Jorginho loses ball position and he's too light. Hence, he never wins all the ball from. Yeah, but again, you could argue that. So what could go wrong if we're Pulisic finally fully fit and thriving somewhere else? Yeah, then you hear your fans going, how that was a big mistake. I'm going to come back to the panel immediately. Declan, your thoughts on Lukaku leaving and what that means?
It's great. It's the best. It's a statement signing. It's the best thing that could happen. It frees up a lot of wages. It gets a guy that's so negative out of the club. His ego. He could have been a massive disruption in the dressing room. Works with the media. Anything that happens probably goes out through him. The media were actually defending him. That goes to show how much he was in bed with him as well. He was atrocious. He didn't want to be here. He down tools. And I've been calling for that a long time. So I wanted him out quick ASAP. And I'm glad that is looking like the first business that we are doing, because it should be the highest priority to get him out.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Nick, you want to add anything to that before we move on?
Yeah, I think, for once in my life, I agree with Declare.
It's a good thing.
Is it a good thing? Lukaku didn't come good like we thought he. I mean, we all thought he was going to be good for us. I don't want anyone, even Jordi thought at the beginning. At the beginning, everyone was singing his name. But, he proved us wrong. He lied. He lied about I'm a Chelsea blue through and through and all this. I thought I backed him and, we saw what happened right at the end. He showed his true colours. Go to Inter Milan and stay there, please. What can we say about Lukaku? The sooner he's going now, so we can start again. But the solution is not Sterling. I'm just warning you, like Andrew, I know Andrew likes Sterling, but, when the time comes, we see who's right. Because I don't see him, even if he comes, I don't see him making us better.
Quickly, on what Nick just said, since Lukaku, I think you could argue, let's be honest here, Lukaku is a traditional striker and Sterling isn't. So in terms of replacement, let's say, does it even make sense to look for another traditional striker? Or what player do you see out there you think we're better off going for to make up the numbers, since Lukaku will most definitely leave?
There's been a series of names. But anyone that can play anywhere the front three, has a great conversion, is my type of person that will fit. I mean, even when Havertz plays, we do look great. We still, everything flows. We make heaps of chances, but just the finishing's not there. I mean, if Havertz could finish, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So, I just want, I mean, there's been some names out there. Just an agile. Probably the best bet would be more like an agile striker than an inside forward. That can take priority in the middle sometimes, but someone that can move the front three. I like Nkunku, but not. He's got a high price tag apparently, and one good year. But someone like that would be great. I'm still on the train of Luka Jovic from Real Madrid. I think.
How old is he now?
He's still great.
He went 24. There as a youngster.
Yeah, he's 24, only 24.
And what happened to him at Madrid? Because he's that player. Let me just use an example to show you how good he was. I think was it Frankfurt when we played them in the Europa Cup, right? Europa League. This is how good he was at Frankfurt. he'd get a chance to score, and his teammates were already start celebrating even before he puts the ball in the back of the net. That's a good how Jovic was. And then at Madrid, it all went downhill. And I think I think it's a good shot. I think we may well get him on a cheap, and he comes here and starts firing on all cylinders. So I'm not sure what really happened to him. What do you think happened to him at Madrid? It wasn't like it was injuries or and all that.
It was an injury. So he
It
got
was
a knee
an
injury
injury,
that
you
kept him
said?
out. Yeah, he got a knee injury that kept him out. Then he struggled to make the team again, and they loaned him out. He wanted game time, and that's why he went to. It's not Frankfurt again. He went to another Bundesliga club. I think that's I actually forgot the club. The one that Andre Silva was playing with, Hoffenheim.
I don't remember the club in question.
Anyway, Andre Silva was the leading goal scorer and actually done well while he was there. So he played as a second striker to Andre Silva when he was there for loan.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre Silva was great, and Luka Jovic started to show some other qualities of linking up, making plays, also scoring goals, but he was getting assists in that, something that I didn't see before. So he has that behind him too, and he had a not bad loan, so that's why Real Madrid called him back. And when you play behind Benzema, you're not going to get much of a game. So he's sitting there, doesn't get much game time, and that's why I think he could. And he's still 24, and I think he could be a steal. As he's, I'm pretty sure he's going to want to leave. I mean, he's not playing at all, or is barely playing, and I think he's going to push for a move, and someone that probably won't cost a lot. But he's shown already at the age of 23, he has a lot in his game. He's very agile, and he can score from almost anywhere. He's not the biggest person, but he gets on the end of a lot. And then like I said, like playing the second striker goes to show that he can play in any of the three positions.
Yeah,
that's my guy. But that's the name that I mentioned.
Yeah, I
saw in the chat
that.
Martinez as well. Martinez is a good shout. These are like impossible.
Yeah,
like,
it's
they seem impossible at the moment. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see the characteristics in this type of player we're looking at. I mean, like that's being suggested that would fit.
Yeah, I think the argument makes sense. With that, let me check out again. We have let's say the poll that says that you want a Chelsea to sign a Sterling, and it says 66% says yes, and just 67% right now, and just 33% says no. I think majority of the Chelsea fan base want the player, but again, it all comes down to what Thomas Tuchel wants, and there's no way to confirm that Thomas Tuchel really wants Raheem Sterling. So, Nick, I'm going to come back to you quickly, and I'm going to say this openly. I think I'm glad, yes, even if you and the Glad disagree, I think whenever each of you present your counter argument, do it respectively. We all love the club, and we speak passionately about the club we love. But then again, it's important that we respect each other. Nobody, is paying for the meal of the other person, so we should respect each other. So I appreciate that. Nick, coming to you now, what striker would you suggest? And I want you, as you suggest that, think about it. Yeah, forget about Lewandowski. That one now you could argue it's in the past because they started negotiating with Barcelona. What striker would you suggest? And bear at the back of your mind while you do that. Thomas Tuchel doesn't fancy traditional strikers, and I can go on and on talking about it tomorrow, and I know I will convince you because I have examples of that. What player do you suggest that would be a perfect fit for him?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I know Thomas Tuchel doesn't like one and out number 9, traditional number 9. But I know he doesn't like it, but let's wait and see, what players we're going to get. Don't forget, we're going to get a couple of new defenders, a new midfielder. If I don't think it's going to be Declan Rice this year. Schumann is gone. But we are looking at certain other players for midfield. what's his name? Sangari is one of them.
Are we still
Skriniar.
looking at Sangari?
Yes, we are. We're still looking. We haven't done anything yet, but anything's possible. So look, like I said in the beginning, I think we will get 3 or 4 players the most. So if we get 2 defenders, hopefully Kounde will come, and hopefully Koulibaly will be the other one. Well, there's still hope for that. I know he's 30, but he's a good player, experienced player. Who can teach the young, show the young ones like Chalobah, Colwill, even if he comes in sometimes. Have someone there when Silva is not there, because Silva won't be able to play every single game next year. Be hard. So, we need Koulibaly. He's the only replacement for Rudiger for me. I said it before. I keep saying it. I'll be really happy if we get Koulibaly. Really happy. And so the striker, Tuchel, because we're going to get new players, maybe he will change the formation. Maybe, if we all say the press, Sky Sports, I know everyone's saying Sterling looks like he's more or less done. I don't believe them. I still don't believe them. And there's no proof to say Tuchel said, I want Sterling. We didn't hear it from Chelsea or from Tuchel. Even on the Chelsea FIFA or the Chelsea website, no one's mentioned Sterling. So it could be all rumours and we're all going crazy for nothing, but we don't know. But, for me, it's not Sterling. We need a better forward. All right, even if it's not a traditional number 9, go for someone, upgrade from what we have, not downgrade. We have Ziyech, who's, for me, he's much better than Sterling. I prefer Ziyech. And I said it, even Werner, I would prefer to give him another chance next year and see what he does. He might come good. And, we have Pulisic, we have Havertz. We have our players. So I don't see the point on bringing Sterling, who's a downgrade for me. I know some people will think Andrew thinks different. That's his opinion.
Yeah.
But for me, he's a downgrade for what we have. So who we're looking at, Ollie Watkins, why not? Or Ivan Toney, young, good strikers. There's a lot of them out there. And don't forget, we have Broja as well. And he will be coming back for pre-season. So Tuchel will look at all these players. They're all coming back. So, even Broja comes back and Lukaku's gone. We don't need, but we need another striker maybe because Broja's young, but not Sterling. Like I said, there's better players out there than Sterling. I'm sure. So I don't believe Tuchel wants him. I can't believe he wants Sterling still. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But he does go for Sterling, and when he comes to Chelsea, we're going to see what happens then, because we can't say he's going to be great. Like Andrew said, he's good, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. We can't say that. We can't say he won't be good. So it's a hard situation. We're going to, I don't want, what I don't want? I don't want to have another Lukaku situation and bring Sterling and he doesn't perform, and then Tuchel will get the blame. I don't want that because I love Thomas Tuchel. As you know, you should know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you for that input. Declan and Tabaga, I hope you guys don't mind. Let me quickly catch up with the chat. Is that okay, bro?
Yes, no problem.
Should I go ahead? I want to catch up with the chat and I'll come back to you guys on the panel.
Okay, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. Great Ahin says it's better to play with a false 9 so we get more of a fluid attack. Traditional number 9 never worked at Chelsea. Never worked at Chelsea. Never worked at Chelsea. Never worked. Under Thomas Tuchel, he hardly uses them. But that's by the way. Again, traditional number 9 never works at Chelsea. When will people learn? I think most people have refused to learn that. Going for traditional number 9 doesn't really make sense, except if he's willing, to adjust the way he approaches the game. then he may well. It's not like he cannot accommodate them, but I just don't want to go into it. It's a difficult argument there. Jump Sports Entertainment said, we finally got rid of the big baby. I don't want any player, any Chelsea player, any player at Chelsea that thinks the bigger, that thinks they're bigger than the club. Next point, I don't agree with us signing Sterling. Neymar would be a better signing. I don't think Neymar would be a better signing when you talk about the Premier League. We've talked about it here, and I think it was Declared who talked about how the Premier League will be too physical for Neymar because it's not like a one-off thing where you get to play Premier League teams in the Champions League, but this is week in, week out. You get to play those defenders that Timo Werner described as giants. And I said something about he's gone beyond the days where he dives in, and Declared's response was he probably go back to diving because he would want that is when trying to get things to go his way, and I think that's correct. So I think Neymar will not work at Chelsea right now. I don't think even his wages. I don't think the club will consider it. Jabulani says it's great that Lukaku is leaving Chelsea. Lautaro Martinez and Kounde Willian are traditional strikers. Have a look at Williams of Atletico Madrid. I don't know him that well, but I'll have a look at him again. It's not a matter of what I want. It's a matter of what Thomas Tuchel and the club wants. Blue morning, everyone. Hey, Suleiman. Nice to see you here, brother. I hope things are well on your end. I sincerely do mean so. True Blue, great ahead. Depends on how far your support goes. Jimmy Floyd, Heisenberg, Didier Drogba, yep, and then Crespo, Diego Costa. I could name many. The current system isn't. Isn't for a first nine. Okay, I don't know about that part. In terms of strikers, I believe we can find a player from the academy that is good enough to play the role. You please be specific. Nkunku isn't a traditional striker. He's a second striker mainly, and he can also play on the wings. Good point right there. True Blue, I'm talking about, the last 5 years. This is another natural striker is number 9 of the Netherlands, Gunpowder. I think that Iñaki Williams of Atletico Madrid is good. Who? Okay. Is he from the same country? Will you just let me know? Like I said, I don't know the player very well. Sometimes Chelsea management is too slow to make good decisions. You could argue that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm. It's like you can continue. I want to take something.
Okay. Again, I think these are more like conversations. I'm just going to skip quite a few. Great Ian said that never. Now, coming back to the panel, do you have an update for us, Tobago, before I go to Declared? Okay, Declared, I'm going to come back to you. Let's talk about the defensive department. Now, it doesn't look like all things are really going our way in terms of our defensive, targets. That is, if we believe what's out there, except for Jules Kounde. Nothing too serious about any other person. Recently, we heard that we've opened talks to sign, what's his name, Bremer. So your thoughts are Declared. Do you have any update for us in that aspect, or you're not sure what we're doing?
The Kounde one's the only one that looks like we're doing, but
and it looks like it's going to happen.
We've linked to every other defender out there, I think. Is there a defender that we're not linked with?
There's hardly.
We can start a rumor if we we can start our own transfer news if there's one that we haven't. So, I think as long as we get Kounde, it's a good start, and then see how it pans out later. I think the good thing is that it looks like there is a number of defenders we can go for.
Mm-hmm.
And Koulibaly was the big name, but I think that one will come out before. So Kounde is something we pick up that we picked up from last season, so that's an easy one to follow. As you can see, everything else at the club is going on, people leaving, and then at least if one's sorted, we can really pick up another one later. But like I said, There's just so many names out there. It's pretty crazy because they know we have to buy a defender. So we might as well pull it out of the hat, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll see some surprise signings like we've talked about, and there's something quickly I want to catch up with in the chat. I wanted to talk about it before I go to Tobago. Tobago was the person that shared this with me here. Let's complete the attacking set, then just go into it because it has to do with the attacking department that we were on. And he says Sterling could help replace Lukaku, but Chelsea also need another striker. One more in the Havertz profile. Shouldn't that be called a forward? At least in terms of pressing and ball retention. Pressing is important for Thomas Tuchel. Before the clock comes in, please, I want to say, if you haven't, we have 71 people watching right now, and we still have just 62 likes. Please keep liking the video, guys. If you haven't, take a second to like the video. It is free. If anybody asks you to pay, tell them True Blue had already paid for you. Please keep liking the video, and thank you very much for 62 likes. Let's shoot for at least 150 by the end of the show. So, Declan, coming back to you, looking at it, what do you think? That's suggested by Liam there.
Sterling could help replace Lukaku. Oh, well, Liam lost me already in the first sentence. But Chelsea also need another striker. One in the more profile or Havertz profile. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know why he said Sterling can help. Sterling is more of what we have. So, I still don't think Sterling... Yes.
Sorry to intervene. I think he's saying, for example, Tuchel likes to play on a first nine, so maybe Sterling can be that person who can play as a first nine, but I don't know.
He can be. Do you think he'll score a lot?
We'll never know until we see it.
I've seen it at Man City. If your conversion rate is pretty low at Man City, then it's going to be pretty low at every other club. I mean, Man City can make you look really good. I bet Werner might look decent.
He scored quite a lot at Man City, if you ask me.
Sterling or Werner?
But I think
the best way to look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he scored a lot of goals. I agree. But he's also missed a lot. And from those two statistics, and throw your eye test in there on what type of chances he missed, you can get a conversion rate on how many he does put in. And it was like 13%, which is quite low. So he gets a lot of chances. He scores a lot of goals, but he also misses a lot of goals. Now you're going to come back. You're going to come in a team with Chelsea that the chances are less. And if you have the same conversion rate, then he's going to score less at Chelsea, statistically. Unless he's getting more chances because we're gonna feed him more. He's gonna be in the end of all more. I don't think he's gonna be in the more. I think the role he would play at Chelsea is similar to the players we already have. Yes, he's better than some of those players, but it doesn't eliminate the problem we still have. The problem we still have is someone that actually scores and can be interchangeable for anyone else and be that link up player and do everything else, but someone that also can do more. But but the priority, they have to score. So if Lukaku could do the other stuff, we wouldn't have a problem. If he actually wanted to play and he linked up and interchanged and with everyone else, then him scoring the goals would have come. But he didn't want to. He didn't. It was maybe too much for him. He didn't like it, and he called it in a couple months in. So that's why it's hard to find or to use a Lukaku example. But I mean, even Nick said it. A Lewandowski, right? But Lewandowski for me is too old to do the same role.
That's what I've argued in terms of pressing.
But he's in the mold, right? When of a striker with a bit of agile. Which some of the names people look at some of the names of their quality, but I'm looking more at the characteristics. Richarlison, Ollie Watkins has been used. These are more agile strikers, and that could do the job. Like Nkuku's a striker. I don't call him but he almost looks like he could do a winger at times, and that's what you need. You just need an agile striker for me at the moment. Not a Dembele's not going to fix the problem. Rafinha's not going to fix the problem. We need a killer. And you know what, Coach? I'd want more than one. I want us to go for two. If it's Dembele and someone, that's great. If it's just two other strikers, that's great. If it's Broja and someone, that's great. That's what I want.
Yeah, I get your argument. I'm going to quickly catch up with the chat, and I'm going to come back to the panel. I know my brother here, Tobago, has something to say. That's probably why he hopped back in. Says, great, Ian. Okay, that is say something about sports. And Bill, let me see what we have here. Sunsubel. Again, may I add a Leo of AC Milan? These are people naming the people they think Chelsea should go for. Thanks for the correction, True Blue. Again, thank you, Dag, for the correction too. May Real Madrid can loan us Rudiger. Yeah, thank you very much. Our defense will be Kounde and Bremer. It looks like that's I saw this, and it looks like the Bremer connection is getting real, because it looks like we've opened the talks with Torino, but we'll see what happens. Change it to a 4 at the back, then we need a 2 less center backs. I think that's another good argument there. Good luck getting the love. Okay. Hello to you too, Ike. I see. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, and I sincerely do hope things are well at your end. Man City literally won the Premier League playing Force 9, and that's not the first time, actually. And again, while I'm at it, please, if you haven't, we have 64 people watching right now, exactly 64 likes, but I know we can do better than 64 likes here. My analytics shows that almost 80 to 90%, that number went down, but it's up again. That Watch the Blue Mining Show hasn't subscribed to the channel. So please take a second, like the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It says you don't need a traditional number 9. Under Thomas Tuchel, you don't. Again, learn the difference between a striker and a forward. There are there's a difference there. Says the way our system is set up at this point, we need an attacker like Havertz who's also able to support the central midfield. That's a perfect thing to say there. The day Thiago Silva gets replaced by a player who has also the pace, again, it sees to do DM work during the game. Okay, this is continuation of what he was saying before. I think that's a good comment right there. Sterling may become the Michael Owen kind of player. Small, fast, run assist, if properly, polished, which I think TT shall do. Again, that's your belief. I think Tuchel wants to move away from the traditional number 9. There's a chance that's the case, and that's what he's always done. I saw the report that we're going for Jonathan Klaus. Yes, I saw that too, and we'll talk about him in a bit. From Ligue 1, I watched him play for France, and he's a proper right wing back. That's his primary position. I know that he's fast and he's good on the ball. I hope Chelsea gets him. I hope that rumor is true. Jovic, no. Okay, tell us why you said no, Matt. Says Faham Rahman. Again, if you haven't, please keep liking the video. The numbers are going up to 67. Let's shoot for 150 likes by the end of the show, or at least 100. But please keep liking the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Craig Dawson from West Ham would be an upgrade for replacing Christensen, in my opinion. I don't know about that. Nick, let me start you with that.
No.
Okay, go ahead, Tobago. You haven't spoken, and Nick just came back in. Your thoughts on Craig Dawson, Tobago?
No way Craig Dawson will be Christensen really good. Yes, he's a proven league defender, but sometimes he just have those little mistakes. But again, as I said, if Tuchel wants the player, then I'm fine, but I don't see us buying him.
Go ahead.
At West Ham, I'd rather buy that kid, Diop. You know him?
Who?
Diop.
That did what? Sorry.
Yes, but they're not playing him anymore. So I don't know what is the issue. But he's young, he's physical, he can play. If he can get a coach that will motivate him and mold him to be a better player, I think he'll do good. But Craig Dawson, no way.
Okay, Declan, your thoughts on that suggestion? Sorry, Nick, your thoughts on the suggestion for Craig Dawson?
Yeah, Dawson, he's not rubbish, Yeah, sometimes he does a mistake. He can defend and he can get a goal. How many times he goes up there and gets some headers for West Ham. He's not that bad, really. But for us, we need someone better, really. Like I said, I want Koulibaly, Kounde, and we have Ampadu still. We have players.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go crazy and go and get a Dawson, no. But he ain't bad. But I don't see. I agree with Tobago there. I don't see any point buying Dawson when we have better players. Our young players. Chalobah is he's getting better and better. Cole will be a great player. He can come in. I don't think we need a Dawson or anyone like that. We need Koulibaly and Kounde. Hopefully, we get them too. But I can't see Dawson or any other West Ham defender really. Any good for us.
Now, Declan, your thoughts?
Dawson, I don't know. It's at the age now too, it'd just be like a band-aid, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a bad defender. Not sure how he'd go. I actually don't think he'll do great in the system we play. I mean, Dawson would be the stature that you put in the middle. Maybe a cheap backup to Silva if he can't play. Yes, but on the left and right, I don't think he's maybe quick enough for those roles. So I have doubts there of Dawson.
Okay. While I'm still with you, Declan, your thoughts on our links to with Rafinha? As you can see on the screen, updates from Fabrizio Romano that Chelsea are in talks, in contact with Leeds regarding, with efforts to secure the signature of Rafinha. If we sign Rafinha, where does he fit in Thomas Tuchel's team?
Rafinha would play one of the top three, but Mason Mount would have to play. So it would be if you had whoever plays, say if it's Havertz, it would be Havertz, Mount, and Rafinha. That's the combination you'd use. Rafinha would be someone that sticks just in the half space, and if he gets a chance out of the box.
Are you talking about if we continue with the same approach?
What approach?
If we continue with playing with 3 at the back, 2 6s, 2 8s, or 2 10s, however you want to say it.
In the same way we're playing, yeah.
So you think Rafinha will fit in?
Yeah, he can fit in. But we've got an abundance of that type of player as well. It's just that Rafinha probably does it better, and he can score.
How about you, Tobago?
Rafinha is a good player, and then we have similar player like Rafinha at Chelsea, Hakim Ziyech. So I'd rather keep Hakim Ziyech than buy Rafinha on that amount. Like 60 to 65 million will be too much for us. Will be too much for our budget. But again, if we sell Ziyech, I'll go for him.
Yeah, the Dawson news was just a suggestion from somebody in the chat, and as you see now the screen from Fabrizio Romano, a deal could cost around 67 million to 75 million to sign Rafinha from Leeds United, but we'll see what happens. I don't see. There's no telling how serious that is, but because what's his name, Fabrizio Romano is being quoted there, there's a chance it's serious. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, says it's a suggestion, not a story, Ray Dawson. Yeah, it is. Somebody in the chat suggested it, and I had to ask those on the panel to talk about it. Now, we got to get back to where we were before. We were talking about the defensive department. And again, it is not sure what the club are doing in terms of recruiting for that area. We're hearing that they've opened the talks for Bremer. Kounde's case, I've always said I'm not concerned. I don't know if anybody, Nick, let me start with you. Are you concerned about Kounde? You concerned? Okay, Nick is gone actually. So let me start with you while I'm still with you. In Kounde's case, are you confident that's a deal that the club can wrap up?
I missed the name you just said. Kounde, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was all done. I think what's happened now is the Kounde part is set, but still, Sevilla's a bit difficult, and I think Chelsea's gone back and offered him less, and I think they're testing it from there, because now Kounde wants to leave even more, so they're not gonna hold him. So Chelsea have found themselves in more leverage.
So you're not concerned about all those rumors you're hearing that he's Benton, he wants to join Barcelona, and Barcelona has money now. You know all the rest of the argument. Are you declared?
I like that a bit.
Now I'm asking, you're not concerned about what we're hearing, or we've debunked that. We're saying it's nonsense, because no matter how you say it, I don't think Barcelona will have enough, and we've offered him almost, I think, four times.
Yeah, Barcelona. I'm not worried about Barcelona. Don't worry about that. I think the news just wanted to, spice up the deal, like it's in doubt or something. There's extra stories.
And when do you think the club will wrap up the deal?
Soon, because I think we reported to submit a bid. Was it 42 that got rejected? I think finding a number, that's all you need.
Now let's look at. Okay, if you're in the chat, if you have any question, just shoot it. I think I'm trying to find again. There are some stuff I wanted us to talk about here. Let me look at the list here again. Yes, we're being linked to Richarlison. Tobago, are you there? Looks like Tobago is gone. He's just pictures there. We're being linked to Richarlison, declared. Where does he fit in our team if we sign him?
Kind of exactly what Havertz does, if you want the best example.
Would you? Yeah, your thoughts on us being linked to him, and because it looks like it's getting serious, really.
Yeah, he might not be what people say, maybe the quality of Chelsea, but he's still a bit younger, and I think he fits the perfect characteristics of what we need, right? He might not have the quality, but the system will run really well with him. So that's why so I'm on the side of, if we get him, I'm happy with it. If we don't, I don't think we missed out on much. But I think I think he's an example of the type of player we should be going. We should be going for. To
Why do you say that?
Because of it's the type of player we need. Do you know what I mean? His quality might not be there, but if you get a player like him, and then people will start to see the system run well, right? And then from there you can say, all right, we could find someone else that is like Richarlison, but better. But Richarlison has a chance to get better too.
Nick, your thoughts on Richarlison? Nick, are you there?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I had to go out because I was getting interference.
Mm.
Yeah, Richarlison. You know, I like the player myself. You know, he does try. He tries hard. He's very dangerous in the box, and he can't. He can score a goal outside the box as well. You know, if you ask me Sterling or Richarlison, I'll go for Richarlison or Jesus. But it looks like Arsenal will go. Are going to get Jesus now because we don't want to pay more than what we should. So that I don't like that really. Letting Jesus go to Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, but Richarlison is good as well. So I don't mind him. Like I said, I don't think Sterling's the answer. Richarlison. Imagine what Tuchel can do with him. He's a good player.
Declan, me ask you this quickly: Richarlison or Sterling? Which of the players would you prefer?
Richarlison. Sterling might be the better player, but Richarlison's the person we need in the system to make a run. I mean, that's the best way to look at it. I'm not saying Richarlison is better than Sterling. No, it's Richarlison is more someone that we need, where Sterling's something we got in a kind of abundance, but Sterling's better than those players. So I think it's more the Richarlison is the more he has the more characteristics of what we need. And
he's more physical than Sterling. Sterling can get pushed away easy.
Yeah.
But
he's about 3 years younger. So, I mean, Richarlison still has more to develop. He doesn't look like it, but that's the case.
Yeah, I hope I hope we get him, than Sterling or anyone else, really. Because he's big. He can, attack that box. He can score great goals. He's a good player. He will get better at Chelsea. We said, he's young as well.
Yes, people, keep liking the video. Keep liking the video. If you haven't, please like the video. We're about 30 likes off 100 likes. Let's try and get it at least 100 before we hit the 3 hours mark. But we're shooting for 150 likes by the end of the show. Please keep liking the video. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to like the video. And here, Ike says, my thing is that Arsenal are going in for Rafinha. If that's the case, is Saka benched? I'm not going to discuss Arsenal case here, but the truth is, I think Saka isn't going to be benched. They're actually trying to get more players to help make Saka even better. But we're not here to talk Arsenal. Maybe when we launch the sister channel before the start of the World Cup. I guess it says no way Rafinha goes to Arsenal to either be behind Saka or Saka leaves because he's not coming. Plus, they don't offer Champions League football. So if we really want Rafinha, I believe me, he'd come to us rather than go to Arsenal. I can assure you right now. Jabulani says Rafinha is more of a fighter, something as Richarlison. More fighter. Do I think he's the most technically gifted? I'd say no. Had a bunch of opponents used like Richarlison yet, or Ziyech is rather too soft or grumpy. End of the time, I think you misjudging. Again, I don't want to go into that argument, but I get your argument regarding Richarlison and Rafinha. Liam says, where are all these forwards going to fit? Dembele, Sterling, Rafinha, Richarlison. I doubt we are going to change our whole forward line. I think there's no possibility for that to happen. Again, I think these names were all linked with. I'm guessing that the moment the club is able to secure one or two of them, we forget about the others. I don't think there's a chance there will be, should I say, a wholesome change in the front line of the current team. If you ask me, again, I must let you know that's what I think. Richarlison is Frank's nephew. Okay, I get that. You've started again. I used to say Sterling and Dembele. that is it for me. Front line, Liam. The rest is all talks, but we don't know. The clubs do look at options in case if A doesn't work, they go for B. That's why I usually hear when you read the rumors to say is on the list, and they're looking to get this player if they cannot get the other player. But we'll see what happens. Pack my essay. What you're saying? What? Let us know. Let's see. The Starling is Timo Werner per two. Again, that's your argument. Sweet replacing Werner, Lukaku, Ziyech with Starling, Richarlison, and Dembele. I don't know yet. Barcelona have to sell 100 million in players and can only use 33 million. I don't know how you came to that conclusion, but let us know. I'd be glad to find out many topics. Sterling scored more goals this season alone than Werner in 2 seasons. Is that correct? The sister channel should be here at 3 a.m. Move Chelsea Talks to 1 p.m. Okay, thank you very much. I don't think I'll be doing anything 8 a.m. in that one, but we have quite other people who'll be part of it. I'll be covering all that. So I agree with you. I see. So now, coming back to the panel, I think let's talk about the Clad. Let me start with Tobago. How well do you know Jonathan Klaus?
I haven't seen him a lot, but I've just saw 1 or 2 games in the national team. So, but what I know, Edma say they love him a lot because of his work rate. Again, if you're going to buy him for 8.5 million, that will be cheap for us. But only if you're going to use the wingback
For
system.
how much did you check the price?
8.5.
For Jonathan Klaus.
Yes.
And that's just what you saw online. There's no guarantee that's the official price. But go ahead.
So I haven't seen him that much. But again, if you're going to buy him, will you loan Jules Sterling again, or Sterling will be forced to say that I don't want to play for Chelsea anymore. I'd rather find a new team because we've been faced through that situation most of the times, especially from our youth development players say I don't want to be number 2. I want a guarantee starting place. So, but we didn't see. But I haven't seen a lot about Jonathan Klaus, to be honest.
Nick, your thoughts on Jonathan Klaus?
Yeah, like Tobago, I've only seen him play for Germany. He's not a bad player. But,
no, French. He's a French player.
Oh, he's a French, Klaus.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a German player called Klaus.
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of him. Does he play for France?
No, I know he plays for Lille.
He's made the team a few times.
He's made the French team. Okay.
He's not a main starter for France. I haven't seen him, to be honest, but I don't think that's a solution. I don't think he's that level to come into the Premiership and perform at a high level. I can't see it. I don't think that will happen. We need a better player than that.
Again, it's not about him being a solution. It's about him being, a very strong competition for Reece James to get Reece James to do even better. Because I think he's good enough. But
if we get Kounde, if we get Kounde and Koulibaly, and 1 midfielder, 1 attacker, that's 4 players. I don't think we're going to get too many.
Yeah, what do you think about Klaus?
To be honest, I heard the name, I saw he's a young player, but I haven't really seen him play that much, to be honest. But it sounded like a young player. I mean, the funny quotes came out that he said he was a Chelsea fan for all his life, and like every other fan. I mean, every other player that we link with. So, it's a random name that's been put out there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's
but yeah,
random. I've seen a few of his games, and by the way, Tobacco, thank you for that correction. He plays for Lens, right? What club
Yes,
does
yes,
he play?
yes.
Is it
Lens.
Lens declared?
sorry.
What club does he play for? Lens?
No,
Lens.
Tobago said Lens, so yeah, it must be.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
correct. So
Yes.
it's Lens, yeah.
I've checked.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Declan.
Yeah, so it's someone we haven't seen a lot. But he's young and he's playing at a decent level. Made the France squad. I mean, that alone can say he's doing well for a young player. And if he's going to come in as
Declan, wait.
He's not
It's
really
not young.
what? I thought he was young.
29.
No, it's 29
He's
years.
too young,
29.
but in terms
29. Forget
yeah,
about him. Where did I say 23 from? Don't worry about him. Is he really 29?
he's 29, really.
Did I read the wrong stuff?
That's a chance, but again, it's easily to get him mixed up because he's not that. You could say he's not that popular, but overall, I think he's a good player. I'm going to say that. But go ahead, you were saying something, Declan.
Yeah, if he's 29, I'm not going to even give him time of day.
Why is that? You need a mix of experience, and all that.
What experience? We're building a squad. You get a 29-year-old player by the time he's going to help the team, and plus, I mean, he's probably not good enough to make the starting 11. So he's just a bit par play. If that's what it is, if we get him on the cheap and he's just filling up the squad, then it sounds all right. To be honest, like that. But if that's what it is, then that's what it is because we need that. But it doesn't sound it should be kind of a low priority.
Declan, remember, I used to say this on the channel. If you are going to play in a back-three system, this guy already knows the wing-back system. So him coming to Chelsea won't be an issue for him to adapt because he's already playing this system, 3-4-3 at Lens. So for him to come at Chelsea won't be an issue. Yeah, exactly. Remember, Rhys James can play all games, so he needs to rest. So when it's not there, this guy might come and fit in. I mean.
Yeah, Pac My essay says Klaus is good. I watched the home and away games against PSG when I was scouting Schick and Decore. I think he's good. I've seen a few of it because I watch a lot of the French games. I see he's good, and he doesn't have to. 29 isn't that bad if you ask me. We can get 5 more years from him or so. Says I will repeat: if Laporte resists the 700 million from selling a percentage of merchandise and Liga TV rights, Barca will have 300 million plus in gain, which means they'll be able to to sign players they want. Again, he plays for RC Lens alongside Sako Fofana, Sheikh Dokore. They have some good players. He recently got selected for France, which means he's doing well. And the Gladiators, they all don't have to be in their early 20s, to make the team. We need a balance of experience and youth to do well. If we focus on youth too much, there's always mentality issues. If you want to see it that way.
Yeah, but it depends what the goal is. When you got a squad of that age, yes, you want to remain competitive, but you're building a squad, right? So you do bring in young players. You do bring players of the similar age group, so they grow as a squad and they peak at the same time. Now you bring a 29, 30-year-old player, and he's a good player, but then the rest of the team around him start to become great players as well. Well, by that time, he's on his decline, right? He's not the player you brought in. He's actually getting worse, and he needs to be replaced then. So it's almost like a Band-Aid fix till the players get. Now you're going to need to find another player.
So you don't think it's a good idea to go for him because he's 29?
Yeah, and the reason I hold these values, if anyone wants to really learn, and like I just saw the chat, like Pac-Man called me out too. I played too much FIFA, he reckons. I'll give you a good lesson. I hope he gets a pen and paper. Every great team that's been built in history, I take a great interest in how that team became a great team. And there is a plan in place from the higher ups. That team didn't happen overnight. There's a whole plan on a transfer, on what players they're bringing in, what manager, what style, and it's done above board. It's a plan put in place, right? And no one likes to hear it. Even Arsenal said it all the time, trust the process, right? Because it is a process. But the reason why everyone hates it at Arsenal is because they've failed their plans each time. But teams like Man City in the EPL and Liverpool have got their plan right, and now you can see they're dominating for years, not just one or two. Chelsea, for example, our policy was just buy ready-made players, and sack the manager every second year or every third year, let's say, right? So we never had a stable we never had a domination for like 6+ seasons because we didn't build a squad that lasted that long. And if you wanted to know, how long, right, it took Pep. Before Pep came in, all the players, they didn't bring it from the academy because the academy wasn't going. They bought quality players under 25 years old. They could have bought anyone. They had all the money in the world, but they bought Pep-type players, and they got a lot of them wrong. There's a lot of them that didn't work out. So they got rid of a lot of players, and they replaced them. But the transfer policy was there. You bring these players in a certain age group, and so you look at our team now and think who's for the future, and then who can you add. Once these players hit their peak, then you can bring in your 29, 30s. That's when you throw the most money at it, because that's when you're going to get the best out of the squad. But right now, a player like that is just going to come in. Yeah, he can help the young people. Yeah, he can play a part, but he's just a bandage. He's a quick fix. And I think on the priority of what we need at the moment, it's quite low on the list, to be honest.
Yeah, I do understand your argument. With that, I want to ask the people watching, please, we have how many now? 24 more likes to get to 100 likes. So if you haven't liked the video, please keep liking the video. Says, can someone please check out, I think I've checked him out. And again, he's not in the list of players we have to talk about today. Maybe another day. Damien Duff, he says, learns and plays so good. There's so many hidden gems in that league. That's the truth. They produce good players. And the good thing about the French league is that players from there usually don't find it difficult to adapt to the Premier League. Not seeing the depth of squad improving. Just one second quickly. All right, we'll talk later, Tobago, as we agreed. Says anything here to address. I don't care about the age. Klaus can be a good addition to the team if you ask me, but the Declan thinks otherwise. And with the very good explanation, if you ask me, should a Chelsea really sign Richarlison? I don't know. I think we've talked about it 1,000 times. Some people think yes, some people think otherwise. For me, if again, I'm going to keep that's the phrase I'm going to be using or sentence I'm going to be using right now. If you ask me about that, if he is what the manager wants, then good for him. So yes, please again keep liking the video. 24 more likes to get to 100 likes. Please keep liking the video and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Declared I played too much FIFA. Declared is that where you get the player names? I don't know. Phantom says we won't be poaching Frankie's players. He will be poaching Billy Gilmore, maybe Mason Mount. I don't think it come close to Mason Mount. If anybody, it will be Billy Gilmore. And remember, he's allowed to take only one player from our club. That's according to the new rules I'm learning. And here says I says the reason why he doesn't make the squad is because he's the French squad is cut. Laporte, the defender, never made the squad, but he's the top 3 or 5 best player in the Premier League. Again, that may well be the case. If we get Klaus for 6 to 8 million, is that really the price? As a competition, I don't like using the term backup for exercise the release clause of Livermore when yeah, let's actually talk about Livermore. Nick, I'll start with you. Do you think that kid will be good enough for Chelsea?
Actually, I don't think so. I've seen him, even with City, he's not that great. I wouldn't want Aki. I don't think we're going to go for Aki to bring him back. I think Livermore
No,
still,
go ahead.
Livermore is a different story. I will love him back. For me, he's a great player. It'd be good to get that release clause done.
Do we know how much it is?
I forgot how much. How much is it? I don't know. Tobacco is Sky Sports News, so you should know how much.
But here's the thing, though. Would he want to come back? I'd say no. Because the reason he left in the first place, because he didn't want competition.
Yeah, he wants to play. He wants game time. He wants to play. But there's still a chance. It depends what Tuchel wants. If he can promise him in game time, why shouldn't he come back? He doesn't want to be, sitting on the bench and not playing, playing some cup games and that. He wants to play. That's why he went to Southampton. I like Livermore. He is good. I like him a lot. Let's see what happens with that. But Ake, no, not for me. He's not that great. He hasn't improved much, since I've seen him. Since he left Chelsea, he hasn't really improved that much. Even for Bournemouth, I didn't. He has a few mistakes in him, and I don't think we're going to go for him. I hope not.
Yeah. Again, please, people, keep liking the video. Keep liking the video. Go ahead, Nick. You were saying something.
Yeah, I mean, when you have someone like Ampadu, why are you thinking about Ake? What's the point? Ampadu's a much better player. He can play, midfield at the back. He's proved his maturity. He's proved he can play in big games. I want Ampadu back, really. Let's hope he shows Tuchel what he's made of, and he gets in the squad. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I do hope so too. Nick, Declan, coming back to you, let me just quickly catch up here. Chelsea the Kingslayer says Pep has still spent over 1 billion euros or pounds during his exactly. I think someday we need to talk about that. And he hasn't actually won the Champions League, which you could argue they value the most. Says Damien Dove, so Reece clause and Livermore, we won't be signing clause for 2 years. Okay. I say just the club replaced 21 out of the 25 players he inherited during his first 5 years, but he did it systematically. He wasn't drastic about it, and I think the same approach. I think Tuchel will take the same approach if you ask me. Now, colleagues, do not rebuke me here. Okay, let's consider Wilfred Zaha. He is a fighter on the left wing, and he cracks open the opposition defense. Again, on the penal striker, no profit. Again, here's the question I want to start with you, on the people suggesting that we go for Wilfred Zaha. But before we do that, again, please keep liking the video. We need just 24 more likes to get to 100 likes. So if you haven't, take a second to like the video. Declare your thoughts on Zaha. Do you think he will work at Chelsea? And if he's a winger, why are we even signing wingers if, in fact, Thomas Tuchel said he's not gonna change the system? Because the current system, you could say, don't really suit wingers.
We really are linked to every player possible.
No, but we're not linked. I think this one is a suggestion, really.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Zaha's attitudes in questions, but sometimes Zaha has played through the middle, but it doesn't really matter when they counter attack. It just happens through everywhere. There's no really set role. So I could see Zaha actually playing in one of the front threes that we have, but not needed. A waste. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. And I think Zaha's reaching. Zaha 30 now. He's getting older.
Yeah, that should be around that number. I'm not sure, but I think he's no longer he's not that young anymore. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be all for it.
Yeah, he wanted
Honestly.
to come with Chelsea before, and we didn't go for him. Not I forgot what
Palace
money
asked for
it
too
was.
much. Yeah, he didn't go
He was
anywhere.
he wanted too much, and that was it under Conte? I'm not sure. I forgot, but I don't think we need Saka. He's getting on. He's a great player. He has his moments. Can do something unusual, like we have Ziyech. Ziyech is that sort of player. But you have to give him the game time.
Yeah, I think he has. You could say he's not a prospect. He's not clearly he's not a prospect anymore. But I think you could argue that he didn't get to where people thought he'd be. Reason that's something I don't know. Again, I think with that question, I don't think we have anything else to talk more. If you are in the chat, if you have any questions, please shoot, and we'll try to answer it. And I think there may be an evening show today, maybe 3 streams today. I don't know, but the automated stream, I'm not sure I'm going to use it again today or maybe tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. Declared anything, any final thoughts, anything final updates you have for us, and any your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today.
No, just pick up everyone. I mean, the Marina and the Bruce Buck news probably goes to indicate what was happening
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes, and there's a lot there. Like there's a lot of in-house stuff. There's a lot of contracts. There's a lot of getting Lukaku out has taken priority of before bringing players in. I'm sure they're working in every different avenue, but yeah, you can see what's been happening. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a slow start, but we're gonna finish strong in this transfer window. So maybe it puts people at ease because this is probably just as good news as a transfer getting Bruce Buck out.
Thank you very much. Again, Nick, your final thoughts on everything we've talked about.
Yeah, Bruce Buck. I said it. I knew he was going to go. About time he's gone. He was, nearly ruined us. With that Super League business he was trying to do behind Roman's back. I'll never forget him. So I'm glad he's gone. Marina, I do like her. She tried hard. She done great business for us. And selling, the sort of Morata, who are, other players like that. She made good profits. And getting a Chilwell for the money we got him for. They were asking for 80 million and we got him for, was it 50? She done great for us. So I'm not happy she's gone, but she had to go. This is Boehly's new era now. He has to do his thing. And we're only going to see that when the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Boehly, and another reason we're not getting players because, Lukaku's gone now. They want players out. Boehly wants, the deadwood out, really, first. But we will get players. I'm not worried about that. I keep saying it. It's just our fan base are very impatient all the time. They rush things. They hear a player, yeah, he's good. Like Sterling. Suddenly he's the best player in the world for some of our fans. They want him so bad. Let's see what happens with him. But, I still think Tuchel, is not Tuchel's sort of player. I could be very wrong. But if he does come, we're going to see what happens. But I can't see many, getting better with Sterling. I keep saying it, but that's what I believe. I know Andrew's against that, but, Andrew's my friend and we argue a lot about players. So, Yeah, we see what happens. Of
Yeah.
course, you know, I'm glad Lukaku's finally gone. Baki's gone. Marina's going to go.
Would you say he's gone already? We can't say that because there's still a lot left.
Yeah, but he's going. He'll be
Really?
gone by
Okay.
next year.
I hope it happens. And what I'm hoping is that he never comes back.
No. Yeah, depends what they agree with. But, yeah, you know, I don't think he will come back. Once he's gone, he ain't going to come back to Chelsea because he said he doesn't want to be here. So, you know, he's going to go. I'm not worried about that. But the only thing I'm worried about is getting the right players in. Don't just get any players, you know. Get the right players. We wanted Dembele. He's still possible. Kounde, he's still possible. Koulibaly is still possible. Keep your, you know, the interest on them. And up front, you know, don't just rely, you know, on getting Sterling. That's a big mistake if that happens. You know, there's better players than him. And in midfield, there is, you know, good midfield players out there. All we need is one. We have great players. You know, we mustn't underestimate the players we have. Gallagher, Gilmore hasn't gone yet. You know, let's see what happens with him. Broja to come back, Ampadu. We have, you know, great young talent. And, you know, I want them to get a chance now. Yeah.
Yeah, just quickly declared, do you believe Lukaku is gone and he will never come back?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, that makes me happy. I hope it's not with an option to buy. I hope it will be with an obligation.
Even if it's option to buy, right?
Yeah.
I think he would just, if Inter don't want to buy him, someone else will.
Yeah, he won't come back here, coach.
That is if he does well enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think there's no redemption for him.
No, he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to come back. If Inter don't want him, then, you know, like you said, someone else will buy him.
I think that's the military class interest. Yeah, that's what we're looking on the screen here. So thank you very much for the panel. Quickly, let me see if there's anything to catch up with here. With those in the chat. With that, if you haven't already, please do like the video and keep telling people about the channel and let us know how we can do better. Again, here it says, it says Palace allegedly has ludicrous 80 million price tag for Zaha walking yellow card with only play left wing.
Wasn't that his price tag like ages ago too?
Yeah, he has always been that. He has always been that. That was the time I think Chelsea had interest in him. There was, I think so.
Yeah, I think there was a few.
There was, but it was similar money.
Yeah, I thought we were interested in him at one point. I don't want to. Sorry.
I said there was.
I just got. Just got the PM from staff. If you do a Marina tribute, he will make a one-off return. Okay, tell staff. I tell him. Okay, I'll let him know if I want to do that. That's really funny though. Yeah, tell him. Declan, do you remember staff, right? You used to joke up, ask him if he's okay, if he's coughing on the panel.
Yeah. Older bloke.
Yeah. So let's see. I still can't reach him via Facebook, so I'll reach out to him and see what we can come to. Tuchel needs to make an important decision. If we are going to back for a priority, it has to be a DM. If we are continuing with three at the back, we need two wing backs. Emerson, Aspie, backups. Don't call it backup. They need competition. Just phrase it that way. We don't want when they get injured, then we're in serious trouble. Again, while I'm reading this, if you haven't, please do, like the video, just a few more to 100, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Lamptey as a rotation player with James, 5 subs, new season. Remember, Lamptey is very quick and good on the ball. Yep, you could argue that. Says, agreed, Damian, but he isn't changing 4-3. Yeah, he isn't. He said that too. Tony, why did Lamptey leave? Lamptey is a starter for Brighton. Why would he rotate the CFC? Why would Brighton totally dismantle the top 10 clubs? Again, that was why I also asked when we talked about Livermento, it's one thing to, to decide to activate the buyback clause, but would the player himself, would he want to come back, knowing that we still have Ben Chilwell, whom you could argue was one of the reasons why he left in the first place. But that's, by the way, with that, I want to say thank you to everyone on the panel. Nick, take a second. Tell people about your channel before we end the show.
Yeah, we're supposed to start yesterday, but we had technical problems. Yeah, it's called The Real Chelsea. It's I'm doing it with Addy, the Magnificent. You know Addy, don't you, Coach? I think you know him.
I may know him, but maybe I don't know him by his name.
Yeah, his name's Addy, but he goes by Magnificent. He's trying to sort it out. It's not easy because he's in Africa, so it's taking a bit of time to sort everything out. We do have a channel. We've made videos and that, but we're waiting to go on live properly, hopefully soon. It's The Real Chelsea at YouTube, on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nick. I sincerely do appreciate that. Again, thank you to Nick, and thank you to the Clad. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to Toned254. Thank you, Damien Duff. Thank you, Chelsea the Kingslayer. Always nice to see you, and thank you to True Blue. Always in the chat, providing great input there. Thank you, everyone else that was here. Again, I sincerely, Pac-Man SA, Ike IC, Sheila was here too today. I can't thank you guys enough. Again, keep telling people about the channel to help us reach 4K subscribers as soon as possible. We're nailing 3,100 subscribers. I know we will get there as soon as possible. Again, the number of subscribers you gain depends on the topic and how interested people are in. With that, we've come to the end of the show. I hope to see you guys later in the day for another show. God bless us all, and bye.